State with a 14-0 lead over Illinois. Steve Visiak along with Joe Klatt, and we now are joined by Walt Anderson, who is the director of Big 12 officials. Great job early in the football game, Walt. But talk about some of the changes this year. I know there's no wedge on the kickoffs, and there'll be a celebration rule coming in next year.
Right. The new rule is the formation of the illegal wedge.
Yeah.
With 3 or more players on kickoffs.
Like us. So we would be illegal right here, right?
We would be illegal. That's right. Provided we didn't have a touchback.
That's right.
There's also some emphasis and a change with player injuries, and that players have to stay out for one play. There's the change, from the standpoint of we want to be sure that the player is certified. So one of the team medical staff or trainers have to certify that he has to come back in. So he's got to stay out for one play. A few other minor changes dealing with uniforms and eye black, things like that. But other than that, the wedge rule and the injury rule, and then continued emphasis on targeting of defensive players, and then the continued emphasis on unsportsmanlike acts, which I'll refer to as the excessive celebration.
The excessive celebration, that's right. And that's the one that kind of draws, I don't want to say the most criticism, but the most talk surrounding it. A lot of people talk about that rule, and I think it's important to note that coaches make the rules. It's just the officials that enforce it.
Right. Darius Reynolds, guys, for the first down.
And what we're trying to do is to really not take the celebration out of the game, but to take away the acts that are either demeaning or taunting in nature to the opponents, or acts that just go too far and beyond and draw unnecessary attention to the individual.
Well, the NFL this year is moving the umpire back behind the offense. Is college thinking about adopting that rule? Because normally it's the NFL, and then a couple of years later you're going to see those same things implemented into college football.
Well, it was certainly discussed at the college level for this year. And it was strongly given some consideration, but because the nature of the college game is a bit different, which you're seeing here tonight, it's a much more up-tempo game, a lot more hurry-up type offenses. And one of the things that we want to do in college is just take a look at the NFL experiment to see if it's successful or not, or whether or not it could be applied to the college game.
We just saw the emergence of Chantrell Johnson. He's the talented true freshman from DeLand, Florida, and he got them within a yard of a first down. Now on second down, you can see the positioning of the officials, and Arnaud is a difficult guy to pick up. He's going to go play action, wants to go downfield, and swings it for the first down to his favorite target, Jake Williams. So Arnaud continues to keep his guys moving.
Boy, this is just efficient football right here. You see the safety coming down on the weak side. Austin Arnaud checks the play out of the run to the pass, play action pass, great feet in the pocket, ball stays up on his frame and just delivers an easy pass. See, this corner's got deep responsibility, Steve, and so that's very easy. Franklin just right in front of him for the first down.
Once again, it is a quick play, and it is complete inside the 30-yard line, but they'll lose yardage on the play. Darius Reynolds fell down. Walt, you were talking about the positioning of the officials. There have been teams that have used that official behind the defensive line as a screen for some of the receivers.
We never do that offensively, do we?
Well, they do, but one of the things we've done is we try to track the pass routes and where the tendency of teams to run those routes, and by tracking that, it gives us a little bit better idea of where to position the umpire in this case. And one of the things you'll notice is in college, we position the umpire about 8 or 9 yards behind the defense, which is much further back than what the NFL has traditionally placed their umpires.
A flag does go down, and Walt will let you describe this play on why there was a penalty thrown. I believe it's on Darius Reynolds, offensive pass interference to allow Robinson to get open.
Penalty would be 15 yards from the previous spot. Remains second down.
Well, one of the things you have to realize is that both the offense and the defense are entitled to their position. And when you have a receiver that just drives through the defender who's established his position, that defender has just as much right to be there as the offensive player.
If Reynolds didn't extend that arm, almost shoving him out, and there was just some contact, and the defensive player happened to fall down, is that still a penalty?
Right. See, the responsibility to avoid contact is on the offensive player.
I see.
And the intent of the rule there is the offensive player should know where he's going. The defensive player does not.
Now they're in a second and forever. I mean, that's a penalty. It's a big penalty in this game. You're 14-0 going in for another score. They're probably going to make another first down, but now you got second and forever.
And the blitz is on. The catch is made to the 35-yard line. They'd love to get inside field goal range for Grant Mahoney.
That's a perfect time to pressure. All you're trying to do as a defense there, you're not trying to sack the quarterback. You're just trying to get the football out of the quarterback's hands quickly. Force him to throw hot, force him to throw short, rally up, tackle the ball carrier. That's a perfect time for a zone pressure. Zone behind it, blitz them, get the football out of the quarterback's hand.
Third down. They'll need 16 for the first down. Arnaud's looking deep downfield. He goes, and he'll be shy of the first down, but he will be inside field goal range. And I think Paul Rhodes, the coach of Iowa State, likes the way they drove it down on second and forever, and they got within a 3-point range.
Let's see what Northern Illinois has got to see and got to try to defend. At this point, if I'm the quarterback, I'm not trying to get the first down. I know that sounds strange, but again, you don't want to go broke taking a profit, Steve. You just got to get yourself into a manageable field goal opportunity. Now you got a 41-yard field goal that you can hopefully make.
Mahoney from 41.
Good kick.
Nailed it.
Yeah, good kick right there.
Big leg for the kid from Marion, Iowa. Walt Anderson, director of Big 12 officials, thanks for informing us and educating us.
Appreciate it, brother.
You bet.
We'll see you around.
Thanks, Steve.
This season, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Mondays at 4:30 is United Bears Recap featuring Lovey's Presser from Hellas Hall. Wednesdays and Thursdays, Bears Blitz presented by Jimmy Johns looks at X's and O's as the Bears get set for Sunday. Thursday nights at 11, countdown to kickoff with Lance Briggs, and Tom Thayer provides a player's perspective. And after every game, U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live brings you 90 minutes of analysis, interviews, and coaches' remarks like nowhere else in Chicago. All season long, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Quiet on the set. Take 73. What? Get moving. Bob Rohrman's bar ring the boba. It's a
There's only one Bob Rohrman.
Get cleaner clothes and softer skin with a Water Boss water softener from Menards. This Water Boss 700 model is $349, or step up to the Big Boss 900 unit for just $399. Get hot water fast with a Richmond water heater. This natural gas unit is $335. This hybrid heat pump water heater has twice the efficiency of standard electric water heaters and can save up to $286 each year in electricity. $1,398.
Save big money at Menards.
The eyes you're born with are the ones you keep. They don't even grow much. Think about this. Many American children may need glasses and don't even know it because the vision screening they get at school isn't always enough. Eye problems can affect learning and behavior throughout your child's life. But a complete eye exam can change all that. Shouldn't your child see an eye doctor yearly? To learn more and for a list of local eye doctors, go to thinkaboutyoureyes.com. Your child's vision is nothing to play with.
Big 12 College Football Saturday is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, low price, every day. And by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment for dependable chainsaws and lightweight blowers. Visit them.
Davis 20 and 22. Ryder deep for Northern Illinois.
Iowa State, great crowd, better than 50,000, and a lot more on the side areas where everybody gets together to have their dinner, a little picnic, and Iowa State with a 17-0 lead. A fumble on the kickoff, and Iowa State will stop them at the 12-yard line.
toughest thing to do in football is stop negative momentum. When the other team has the momentum, it seems like everything goes wrong, and you're seeing that right now with Northern Illinois. They can't do anything right. Now they're pinned inside their own 15, having to come out and play offense against a defense which is playing very aggressive and, more importantly, very confident defense.
And this is a team that many picked to win the Mid-American Conference West Division over Central Michigan, who was the MAC champion. Temple, of course, picked to win the East.
A lot of people thought that they were even deserving of some top 25 votes in the country. They had a very good defense a year ago, 230 yards. Jerry Kill is not going to be happy about that thus far in the first half.
DeMarcus Grady. Short pass again, completes it, and they've got it up near the 15-17-yard line. This week, Vans College Football Saturday kicks off with a doubleheader. First, Blaine Gabbert and high-powered Mizzou take on Illinois. Then it's a Big 12 Pac-10 showdown when Oklahoma State battles Washington State. The action kicks off at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Joel, you'll be at Oklahoma State, and you believe the best running back in the Big 12 is with the Cowboys.
Well, I'm getting a little bit of a show put on right now by Alexander Robinson, but yes, Kendall Hunter from Oklahoma State is a very good back. It's kind of the year of the running back right now in the Big 12.
Span gets the first down at near the 30-yard line. Jasmine Hopkins, the new running back in.
Kendall Hunter for the Oklahoma State Cowboys is the type of guy that can run for 1,500 plus yards. This is a guy 8 games last year, 2 starts, only 382 yards, but that's because he was injured. 2008, this is more of who he is, 119 yards per game. That led the Big 12 7th in the country. This is an electric guy. I'm very much looking forward to watch him play against Washington State there in Stillwater on Saturday afternoon.
9 of the top 10 rushers from last season are back in the Big 12 this year. Should be a great year. College football in the Big 12 again. There goes Grady out near the 35-yard line. Grady's been able to move the chains, but I'm not sure if he's the quarterback that can come up with a big play for them.
Well, I tell you what, he's just getting off the receivers a little too quickly. You're going to see down Nathan Palmer down the field, comes open, wide open late. He got his hand up in the air right here. Grady had already decided to tuck the ball and run. He's making decisions just a hair too quick. As a quarterback, you got to slow down your heartbeat. Don't play with emotion and let the offense come to you.
Grady rolling right, clips the pass, it's tipped and incomplete. Tipped by Jake Knott. Now remember, he was 5-0 career as a starter, but we were told by their offensive coordinator, Matt Limegrunner, when he came in, he was simply an option spread quarterback, and they had a Grady package, and it was very limited, just a few plays. They said he's really grown up, and he pretty much handled the team in spring ball because Chandler Harness was injured.
Well, and you know, they talked a lot about whoever knows the offense best, that can play most efficient, is going to win this job. They thought it was Grady, but they got a couple of other guys sitting on the sidelines, and so I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if Iowa State continues to dominate if we saw one of those guys.
Low pass, short of the first down. Once again, the inability of convert third downs has hurt the Huskies in this game.
That right there will drive a quarterback insane when your wide receiver does not get to the sticks. He's running a stop route, and you're relying on him as a quarterback to make the first down. You can't do anything except throw it to him. You got to rely on him to run the correct route, and that was not done there for Northern Illinois. And Wally Burnham from Iowa State, he's created a great game plan, and he loves the way that his Cyclones are putting that into action.
0 for 5 converting third downs, and this is a young Iowa State defense that's been impressive early. They'll have the football when we come back at the 30-yard line. 17-0 Iowa State over Northern Illinois.
Machinery to tonight's game.
If your bike crashes, so do you. That's why you need to call now for Allstate Motorcycle Insurance. For the price of insuring your bike, it can also protect you for as low as $100 a year. Call now, 1-877-361-BIKE for a fast free quote. And what if you have a passenger on your bike? Don't worry. With Allstate Motorcycle Insurance, they're covered too. All for as low as $100 a year. No one protects a rider better than Allstate. Call now, 1-877-361-BIKE.
Relive a time when sports writers would sit around a table, smoke cigars, and just talk about sports.
From Chicago, it's the Sports Writers on TV.
Comcast Sportsnet is bringing back a piece of television history with Joust, Gleason, Bentley, and Tellender. Every week, we'll re-air a show relating to the current sports scene in Chicago that features pop-ups and fun facts about that era. Relive the Sports Writers on TV, beginning September 10th at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet.
The setting was perfect.
She looked beautiful with that Caribbean tan.
I couldn't believe how clear the water was.
We're still raving about the incredible service.
He was so happy diving, he'd always wanted to try it.
Our suite was so exotic, it even had a pool.
And there were like 9 restaurants, all different.
Oh, delicious.
But what I remembered most
was falling in love all over again. Sandals Grand Antigua. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Get closer to the field on game day as Comcast Sportsnet, Menards, and the Cubs team up to select 6 lucky winners to be a Menards Wrigley Field groundskeeper for a day. Winner will enjoy the full game day experience of preparing the friendly confines and will help drag the infield during the 4th inning. Winner also receives 4 tickets to the game, a Menards groundskeeper uniform, and pregame photos on the field. To enter the Menards Wrigley Field groundskeeper for a day, visit any Menards location and pick up an entry postcard. This season, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Mondays at 4:30, it's United Bears Recap featuring Lovie's Presser from Hallis Hall. Wednesdays and Thursdays, Bears Blitz presented by Jimmy Johns looks at X's and O's as the Bears get set for Sunday. Thursday nights at 11, countdown to kickoff with Lance Briggs, and Tom Thayer provides a player's perspective. And after every game, U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live brings you 90 minutes of analysis, interviews, and coaches' remarks like nowhere else in Chicago. All season long, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Every night, the premier Chicago sports show with the best local coverage of your favorite Chicago sports teams is Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Watch as the largest sports staff in the city goes in-depth on everything that matters to the true Chicago sports fan. Breaking news, extended highlights, in-depth interviews, and exclusive access you won't find anywhere else. Sports Night, every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
All season long, Champion Apparel will be showcasing the history and traditions of the Big 12 Conference. Tonight we highlighted Iowa State. Champion, it's how we play. And this young man has played awfully well to start this football game. You can see his 127 yards through the air, 29 on the ground, including a 4-yard touchdown. And as a team, they have 12 carries for 103 yards. As Joel said to start this game, they've got to run the football. They average 162 yards per game on the ground last year. And Arnaud completes the pass to Cedric Johnson. Very short game.
Everything is coming off of Alexander Robinson right now. Almost every single play, Austin Arnaud is sticking that ball out there, and Alexander Robinson is either going to take it or they're faking it to him to run it with Arnaud or to throw it with Arnaud. That is their bread and butter. I love that game plan because of those 5 big guys up front, very experienced and very good.
Second down, they'll need 7 for the first. 2 split wide left, 2 to the right. They swing it left. Nice move by Darius Darks. He's up near the first down.
Positive momentum. It creates great energy within your huddle. Now a guy who struggled early, Cedric Johnson, he gets the football. No, excuse me, Darius Darks gets the football, great moves, puts his foot in the ground, and gets north and south. This game is all about getting north and south, gaining yards, and moving the sticks. That's what I used to tell the guys in the huddle. We got to move the sticks. Nothing else matters unless we get that first down.
They have a short touchdown run by Arnaud and a 63-yard run by Robinson. Alexander gets it again. This time the defense is all over him, and it's Alan Baxter to lead the way. Joel, we were talking yesterday, and I said, what are 2 of the keys? And you said, well, Steve, A-Rob and Arnaud have to play like they should.
Well, yeah, we talked with Paul Rhodes about Austin Arnaud, and I asked him, I said, is he a better quarterback now than he was in the bowl game. And he said, I mean, he didn't even, right away, yes, he is. He's put in the work. He's watched the film, and he's playing like it right now. And then Alexander Robinson, the MVP of that bowl game and the team of last season, is playing just like himself tonight. A lot of yards, very efficient player.
Second down, 13, completes it to Lenz, and Lenz breaks a tackle up past the 50. He's got the first down.
Great ball placement from Austin Arnaud, teaching and telling. You got to speak with your ball placement. All he did is throw it on his outside shoulder. That said, hey, Josh Lenz, spin to your outside because the defender, he's on your inside. Spin outside. Lenz takes it for a first down.
Short gain by Robinson. We were talking with Paul Rhodes, and he said we had to run Austin Arnaud out of the practice facility. He was watching so much video, and the guy he was watching most was Colt McCoy's play last year, because he said we run similar offenses like Texas, but he said McCoy runs it so well, and Austin wanted to learn the way McCoy ran that Longhorn offense.
Great guy to watch, first of all, a very efficient quarterback. He also changed some mechanics, Austin Arnaud did. We're seeing the benefits of that here tonight. The ball is up near his right ear, near his right shoulder. That allows him to release it quicker and more accurately, which we just saw in that last play to Lenz.
He loops it. Oh, what a nice catch made by Cedric Johnson, who just turned to the outside. The ball was there. He reached up and made a nice catch in the edge of his fingertips.
I talk a lot, and I just did here on that play to Lenz about talking with your ball placement. He just told Cedric Johnson, you just turn around, big fella, put those hands up, and I'm going to complete this pass for you. Cedric Johnson, great route. Austin Arnaud, better pass.
This time Robinson drops the football. I believe it's an incomplete pass. I don't think it's a lateral, because Northern Illinois is saying that.
It should be an incomplete pass.
I didn't think Robinson ever had control of it. But the linesman is saying it is Husky football.
Take a look. Arnaud throws it. That's a forward pass. Boy, it's very close. It looked like Arnaud threw it from the 35, Steve, and the ball landed at about the 34.5. That should be a forward pass, and I would not be surprised at all if they take another look at this. That was a great angle there from the fellas. That should be an incomplete pass.
Well,
just
we should get Walt Anderson back in the booth.
Yeah, we need him back in. Arnaud throws the football. See how he kind of spins around? He throws it from the 35, and the ball is dropped at the 34.5.
Well, the Huskies want to get right back in this game.
Yeah, you got to snap the football as quickly as you can. Here they go. They're going to look at this.
I thought they would, Joe. I mean, that was too close, and maybe. We apologize. The PA does not work on the official's microphone, but there is Paul Rhodes, first Iowa State football coach to win 7 games in his initial season since 1907.
Tell you what, that's quite a feat. He was talking just about the culture and what he told his team last season in the very first meeting that they had when he was first their football coach, and he said 2 things. Let's hold off on that. I want to take a look more at what these officials are looking at upstairs in the booth as Arnaud drops back. When the football leaves his hand, he is on the 35-yard line. The tough thing for Iowa State here, Steve, is I don't know if there's enough to overturn that call. I believe it probably would have been looked at either way. The problem is that the call on the field was a fumble, a backwards pass, and a fumble recovered by Northern Illinois. Is there enough right now to overturn that call? Maybe there wasn't when you take another look at that, because Austin Arnaud, I thought the middle of his body was right at the 35.
Lumiere, and he'll give us the call. This could be a huge play for Northern Illinois.
The play stands as called on the field. First down.
You know what, after we took a look at that, I think it was more to do with what was called on the field rather than what the video showed, because I don't think that there was enough to overturn the call. If they would have called it incomplete, there wasn't enough to overturn it and say it was a forward pass. It was called a backwards pass. There wasn't enough to overturn that into an incompletion.
This can be a decision that allows Northern Illinois to get back in this game. Iowa State was knocking on the door. Now all of a sudden it's Husky football, but they must score. There's 3:17 remaining in the first half. Jazz Hopkins up the middle for a short game. The 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. (17-0) Iowa State. A touchdown run by Austin Arnaud. A touchdown run by Alexander Robinson. Now it's Northern Illinois with the football, and DeMarcus Grady remains the quarterback. And falling down in the backfield is his running back, Jasmine Hopkins, who was the junior college national player of the year last year, running for over 1,900 yards. They love his future, but Span on the sideline right now.
I don't know about, Span had been running the football very well. Now, they like Jasmine Hopkins, like I said, player of the year in the NJCAA in junior college, 1,900 yards last season. But I think you got to, when you're down 17-0, you got to go with the horses that you know that can run.
0 for 5, converting 3rd downs. Grady in trouble. Trying to throw it away, and he does, and they've had 6 tries on 3rd down, and Iowa State's defense have stuffed them each time. You could see the pressure coming from Jake McDonough, the sophomore from Urbandale, Iowa.
Good pressure up front. Wally Burnham has got to enjoy watching his defense get after Grady. A couple of guys, in fact, 3 guys on that Northern Illinois offensive line, Pegram, Weddich, and Otis, all making their first start in their college career tonight. And I think we're seeing that inexperience play out on the field, Steve.
Josh Wilbur. There will be a return from the 21. Up to the 30-yard line. Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, Steve. Here it is. Iowa State defense doing a terrific job. And coming up on the McDonald's halftime show, we'll join John Radican and Pat Jones in the studio. They'll take a look at top 25 highlights. Also go over games coming up this Saturday. That's coming up on the McDonald's halftime show. Steve?
Thank you very much, Jim. And there was a flag on the play.
Over. With a late hit. Number 22 of the receiving team. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
So Iowa State a little concerned about that penalty, but I think Paul Rhodes has to feel mighty good about the way his team played. Yeah, they actually scored 3 touchdowns because one
I was just
called
going to
back.
say, Steve, they've left some points out there. You think about the offensive pass interference. You think about the illegal formation. That took 2 points off the board on good drives. And now Taryn Benton getting the personal foul. You know Paul Rhodes does not like seeing that because he likes to think that his team is a disciplined football team. And they're not necessarily playing like that, even though they're up 17-0.
Arnaud's going to keep past the 20, out near the 24-yard line. Let's go take a look at the penalty a moment ago.
Yeah, it was after the whistle, and Taryn Benton didn't like something that happened. I think he's right down there. There he is. Taryn Benton is right down there on his knees. He gets up, and he takes a swipe right there at the Northern Illinois player. You cannot do that. There's going to be yellow on the field after that.
Arnaud's going to keep it again. And he's got the 1st down up to the 30-yard line. That will keep the clock moving inside 1:30 to play in the first half. This guy's going to be a load. I can't believe Iowa State was picked to finish last in the preseason polls of the Big 12. You went Nebraska #1 in the north, then Missouri, Kansas State, Kansas, Colorado, and Iowa State. This is a good football team.
This is a very good football team and an experienced offensive line. They've just absolutely owned the line of scrimmage. Let's see if they can protect Arnaud now in a 2-minute situation.
He throws his first interception of the night. It's picked off by Tracy Wilson, and Wilson has it inside the 25-yard line. Now that's a bad decision. You got a minute.
Absolutely.
You got 1 minute left in the first half.
You're up 17-0. You played an efficient football game. You can't go and force the football over the middle. Good active hands by Northern Illinois in the middle of the football field, and Tracy Wilson stepping up, and this is the guy that we tabbed as their best defensive player. Normally not a guy that gets a lot of interceptions, but he's there for the tip right there. And here's the problem. Northern Illinois, if you're Iowa State, here's the problem. Northern Illinois, if they punch this in 17-7, that's not that ominous. You can come back from that in the second half. That's a big mistake, but you got to take advantage of it if you're Northern Illinois and DeMarcus Grady.
They swing it to the right. Chad Span back in the game. Past the 20-yard line, near the 15. Joel, I've got to ask you this. I think the greatest coaches and also the greatest quarterbacks are also brilliant at clock management.
Well, it's situational football. Exactly. You know, the Patriots talk a lot about situational football. Peyton Manning does as well. And Grady understands it here. He's not using a lot of timeouts. He's trying to save those as the clock fights down towards 30 seconds. Incomplete there. Here's the only, as a quarterback, and DeMarcus Grady, I've talked about how he needs to slow down his heartbeat so far in this first half. Here's the type of situation where you're trying to hurry up the other 10 guys on the field, but you need to slow yourself down. Slow down the game mentally. Try to make it go in slow motion so you can throw the football accurately, because your team does not need to kick a field goal. They need a touchdown right now.
3rd and 4. Brady's going to keep it, and he's not going to get that first down. He'll come up about 2-3 yards shy. Michael O'Connell and Rashaan Parker smelled it out immediately.
That is a defensive play call right there. DeMarcus Grady, I don't think that the coaching staff necessarily wanted to have him force the football down the football field, so they call a running play. That's not the play that you're supposed to call right there on 3rd and 4. You got to put the ball in the air, try to move those sticks, because a field goal does not do anything for you. Now the clock has 5 seconds. Jerry Kill has got to be upset. They had a golden opportunity to cut that lead to 10, and now they're probably going to have to attempt a field goal here, because with 5 seconds, you're either going to go into the end zone from the 16-yard line, or you're just going to kick a field goal. I would kick the field goal.
You just wonder if Grady will be the quarterback when they start the second half.
You know, in this first half, Iowa State has created this lead, 17 points, via the zone read and Alexander Robinson. Every snap, Arnaud's putting that ball right in Robinson's stomachs. He's running it, he's throwing it, playing very efficient football. Besides that interception, that's how he got his first touchdown. Not very sound there on the backside by Northern Illinois, but then you've been pulling it, then throwing it. Arnaud's been running it, and then all of a sudden they don't account for Alexander Robinson. He takes it up the gut. Great blocking up front by the 5 offensive linemen. And sure enough, he takes it 63 yards for a touchdown. That's why you're up 17-0 if you're Iowa State.
Klimowski from 33 yards out, right hash mark, trying to get on the scoreboard. Time called. And the whistles were blowing way before the snap, but they went through it anyway. Timeout, Iowa State. All trying to freeze the young kicker.
I think he wants to retract that timeout, because Klimowski came out and kicked that ball anyways. He kicked it right into the backside of his offensive lineman.
He thought it was the World Cup, and he had to keep it low to get it into the net.
Around the wall.
You see the senior from Willow Springs, Illinois. And this has been a surprise. I've got to be honest with you, Joel, because Northern Illinois comes in with a really good football team. But despite beating especially last year, the critics say the Huskies still have to beat a winning team or compete for a MAC West Division title this year. I mean, Central Michigan has been that power in the conference for a number of years. Timeout one more time. Try it again, Michael. This time he hits the goalpost. So Paul is 0 for 2 on timeouts.
Oh, if I'm Michael Klimowski, I tell you what, I'm going to right the ship here, and now I'm going to kick it through, and then I'm going to look at Paul Rhodes and I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to tip my cap right there.
I've got to tell you this, Joel. You were a baseball player. 1 out of 3 is pretty good.
That is 1 out of 3. Hey, the history of Northern Illinois, Steve, they've been littered with great running backs, and Garrett Wolf was one of those guys. Doesn't he look like Chad Span? Low to the ground, hard to tackle, strong lower body. He had the speed to break away. Touchdown after touchdown, over 50 touchdowns, 5,000+ yards. Chad Span, if I'm Chad Span, I put him up in my locker, and I say that's the type of guy that I want to emulate as a Northern Illinois Husky.
All right, Michael, let's put it through. You hit the guys the first time, you hit the goalpost the second time, the third time you put it up, and you put it off to the left. 0 for 3. Oh my goodness, says Jerry Kill. He never thought his football team would come out to Ames, Iowa and be blanked in the first half. The Cyclones run to the locker room feeling good. A touchdown by Arnaud, a 63-yard run by Robinson, and they're up 17-0. Jim Knox is with their coach.
Yes, you did. The holder did.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, what happened there, Coach?
You take it. Somebody told me about a week ago that it actually works on the icing, and we got 3 timeouts left, so we figure we better use a couple of them.
It did work. Now talk about the offense. You got to be pleased. Arnaud right now 169 yards passing. Alexander Robinson doing a nice job on the ground.
Yeah, we have executed. Very disappointed in that 2-minute offense. We've practiced that an awful lot, but overall they're playing with one play at a time focus and pleased with their execution.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the time, Coach. Coming up next, John Radick and Pat Jones in the studio. It's the McDonald's halftime show right after this quick timeout.
Derek Anderson came to Iowa State to develop his artistic talents. He drew cartoons for the school paper. Then, he took an acting class and a visual studies class. After a writing class from a Pulitzer Prize author, he discovered he had a gift for telling stories. And now Derek Anderson illustrates and writes children's books, including a New York Times bestseller.
Enjoy your adventure at Iowa State. Visit ChooseYourAdventure.net.
CSNChicago.com. The best place for breaking news and behind-the-scenes access.
The most blogs and insiders, and everything outside the box score.
CSNChicago.com. Your destination for everything White Sox.
He make everybody around him better, too. That's no question.
Your internet home for all things Cubs.
Whatever I can do to help the team, and that's what I'm doing here. If they want me to play first base, I'll do it.
CSNChicago.com.
A fan's best friend online.
Now, good night, and go to sleep.
Okay, Mom, good night.
Yes! In the net, they score! The Hawks win the Stanley Cup! They've won the Stanley Cup! It's over! They did it! The Hawks win the Stanley Cup! The Chicago Blackhawks have won the Stanley Cup!
Nissan's bottom line sales event is ending, so we're laying it all on the line with up to $1,000 bonus cash on top of all existing offers. Nissan's bottom line sales event. Get 0% financing on most new Nissans, plus up to $1,000 bonus cash. Hurry, event ends September 6th. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today.
Today, the Cubs meet the Mets at Clark and Edison. Tune in as the Northsiders hope to swipe a win from New York. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs, Mets, today at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Save big money on all the products you need at Menards. Never be stuck with a flat tire with Fix-A-Flat. It's easy to repair, seal, and inflate flat tires. A 16-ounce can is just $3.49. Keep your garage organized with storage units by Rubbermaid. This resin garage system includes a 24-inch wall cabinet, base cabinet, and full double door cabinet, all for only $287. Dedicated to service and quality. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Going to give it a shot. Here he goes to third. And throw it to the plate. They got him!
Chicago baseball today.
Comcast Sportsnet relays the stats. Catch us on Sports Night and CSNChicago.com. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
And we'll be following this story all day long.
Chicago Tribune Live, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Welcome back. Ohio State, number 2 in the land, living up to it early against the thundering herd of Marshall. Although Marshall with the quick strike here. Drew Basil's 53-yard field goal attempt is blocked. Ahmed Shakur takes it all the way. 45, 14-7. Buckeyes out in front, but the Buckeyes would answer. There's your Heisman hopeful. Terrell Pryor drops back and finds Dane Sanzenbacher. He fights off the defender. It's a 65-yard touchdown. 42-7. Pryor 13 of 20 for 206 yards. 6 minutes left in the third. How about this one? A couple of top 25 teams here, and it's Utah, and it's Pitt, and it's Dion Lewis. Takes the handoff and follows the blockers for a 3-yard touchdown. Dave Wanstead's team is up 7-0. But the Utes would answer on the ensuing drive. Jordan Wynn drops back, finds Jeremy Brooks open in the end zone, 19-yard strike. Utah threatening again with under 4 minutes left to play in the second quarter. They've got that 14-7 lead. One other big one, Miami, with huge numbers already out of Ja'Cory Harris. He is 13 of 16 for 216 yards, and the U with a 42-0 lead over Florida A&M. Don't forget about our college football Saturday. That border war to settle the score, Illinois and Missouri. You can find that one at 9:30 a.m. if you're in the Pacific time zone, or right there past the noon hour in the Eastern time zone. Washington State, Oklahoma State, the nightcap here on the network. A big day. It's college football Saturday. When we come back, we take a look at what to expect in the second half of this one. Iowa State with a 17-0 lead over Northern Illinois. The coach joins me next.
Chicago basketball is the best basketball in the country, I believe.
Most of these kids are really tough kids.
Shootings, gangs, those kind of things.
We had some kids that really, if it wasn't for basketball, they would not have stayed in high school.
Tonight, we have the Bloom Blazing Trojans and Brother Rice Crusaders. One of these two teams will be one of the final 8 in the state of Illinois. Up it goes!
2000 team, there was a lot of expectations right from the start.
The whole game was back and forth. They couldn't pull away from us.
For the tie! Got it!
And now there's 4.6 seconds to go. That's kind of where everything is up for debate what happened.
Alexander, turn around! Tip! Yeah!
Buzzer sounded. Joe Chapman tipped the ball in, then the gun sounded.
Was it good or not good? It was that close.
A lot of confusion. No one was leaving the gym, so we didn't really know what to think.
And the lead official finally ruled that the basket was good, and then chaos broke out after that.
Many people said, oh, you won out a lucky tip and it was a fluke. But if you know our players, they got something to prove. They'll say it wasn't any fluke.
We really have Gatorade to thank for an opportunity that not too many people ever will have.
You're gonna have a lot of hard practices, a lot of hard training sessions. It starts today.
You got cramps in places that you don't remember having.
I'm tired, I'm out of breath, you name it.
We got to grind through it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Get this chance to play them again is all the motivation I need to show them that we can beat them.
Push yourselves, fellas. Come on, don't stop.
What's your idea of financial security?
Financial security.
No matter where you're starting from, Country Financial can help you achieve it.
Retire when I want.
The wedding of my dreams.
Your Country Financial representative can provide you with a tangible plan to protect what you have and plan for the future.
Peace of mind.
At Country Financial, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Relive a time when sports writers would sit around a table, smoke cigars, and just talk about sports.
From Chicago, it's the Sports Writers on TV.
Comcast Sportsnet is bringing back a piece of television history with Joust, Gleason, Bentley, and Tellender. Every week, we'll re-air a show relating to the current sports scene in Chicago that features pop-ups and fun facts about that era. Relive the Sports Writers on TV, beginning September 10th at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet. Every night, the premier Chicago sports show with the best local coverage of your favorite Chicago sports teams is Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Watch as the largest sports staff in the city goes in-depth on everything that matters to the true Chicago sports fan. Breaking news, extended highlights, in-depth interviews, and exclusive access you won't find anywhere else. Sports Night, every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
I'll have the usual. And remember, I was never here.
I like my sliders like I like my men. Bold
What's up?
and unique.
What's up?
With all the bold, unique flavors at White Castle, there's a slider for everyone. Choose from 7 Savor Sack meals, like 3 A1 sliders, 2 chicken ring sliders, or 3 jalapeno cheese sliders. Get them in a Savor Sack for only $2.99. White Castle. Grab a sack, you'll be back.
CSNChicago.com.
The best place for breaking news and behind-the-scenes access.
The most blogs and insiders.
And everything outside the box score.
CSNChicago.com. Your destination for everything White Sox.
He make everybody around him better, too. That's no question.
Your internet home for all things Cubs.
Whatever I can do to help the team, and that's what I'm doing here. If they want me to play face-to-face, I'll do it.
CSNChicago.com.
A fan's best friend online.
The game of golf is full of treasures, memories, keepsakes. But it's more than that. It tests your will and captures the soul. Golf is the sport of a lifetime, played by people of all ages all over the world. Here at Golf Chicago, we have an appreciation of this terrific game with a special Windy City touch.
Don't miss Golf Chicago on Comcast Sportsnet. Check local listings.
Iowa State goes for almost 300 yards in the first half of this one. 279 to 112 for Northern Illinois. Welcome back into the Fox Sports Studios and the McDonald's halftime show. It's John Radigan with the coach, Pat Jones. What do you think we can look for in the second half of this game,
Well,
Coach?
it's going to be interesting, John. The Iowa State defense, Wally Burnham, their defense coordinator, is a veteran guy that has had good units. It's really got them playing good. Northern has had a good offensive football team in the past. Chad Spann, the tailback, is a good player. They've held him to 16 yards, so let's see if Iowa State can continue to get after them defensively.
Yeah, Paul Rhodes has his guys ready to play. There is no doubt about that. Now, this weekend, it is the first official full weekend of football, and what do we expect to see in the Big 12?
Well, it's real curious to see. We talk so much about who's going to replace who. All these high-round pick guys are gone. Who's going to step in? Again, how will Landry Jones play? How will Whedon play? How's Gilbert going to play? I think the game in Stillwater that we've got tomorrow, Saturday, it should be an interesting one to see how Brandon Whedon does. Washington State allegedly is better in their defensive line. Oklahoma State is breaking in a bunch of new guys. That'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it will. And, of course, there's always intrigue in what Texas and Oklahoma have, especially since both this year, as Coach mentioned, have new quarterbacks. But Landry Jones certainly got more experience than the Gilbert kid did.
Oh, yeah, he played the entire season, or virtually the entire season. Well, how many questions can they get answered at receiver? Who will they play behind DeMarco Murray at running back? Is DeMarco Murray as healthy as he can be? Johnny's been nicked up over his career. And how good can they be defensive? They got a chance to be real good.
Yeah, many people believe that DeMarco Murray might be the Big 12's best shot at a Heisman Trophy candidate. However, in order to be that, DeMarco Murray must stay healthy. And it is interesting to see what will happen in the North. Missouri's been through turmoil in the last week. Nebraska obviously then becomes even more of a favorite to win the North.
Well, and the Colorado State matchup, John, we've had it over the years, and that thing gets really interesting at times. Colorado has got several kids that have a chance to be drafted high, and they've added a few guys here and there. Have they gotten that much better?
Yeah, we'll be watching that one with interest. We'll be here all day Saturday to bring you College Football Saturday, the first full Saturday of action in college football this year. The first Thursday night of action is off to a pretty good start, especially if you're a fan of the Iowa State Cyclones. They've got a lead of 17-0, and it could be more. Remember, they had that long touchdown called back. Second half on your way. We're back after the game with a complete post-game wrap-up. It's the Toyota Big 12 post-game show.
Okay, Hat, are we ready for happy hour?
Ice cream scoops and real milk?
Check.
Whipped cream and cherries?
Check.
Confetti balloons and music?
Hat.
Mike, come on!
What are you up to?
3, 2, 1, happy hour!
Miles, happy hour, yeah!
Try our delicious new peach and berry strawberry hand-dipped milkshakes during half-price happy hour.
Great idea, Hat. I'm flying! Not good.
Steak and Shake. Life needs flavor.
Tomorrow, Comcast Sportsnet is your college football kickoff headquarters. At 11:30, Illinois-Mizzou square off with bragging rights on the line. And at 6:30 on CSN+, Northwestern takes on Vanderbilt. It's a Big Ten doubleheader beginning tomorrow at 11:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Dreams shattered, love lost. A celebration with friends. If you drink and drive, not only can you lose your freedom, but you may be stealing someone else's future. The effects of drunk driving are devastating for everyone. Don't drink and drive.
Today, the Cubs meet the Mets at Clark and Edison. Tune in as the Northsiders hope to swipe a win from New York. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs, Mets, today at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
If I ran a wireless company,
my motto would be no.
No fees.
No overages. No contracts. Just one flat rate at a price that
nobody could say no to.
Now, you know who can top that?
Try no one.
Cricket's with you. Changing wireless as we know it. Still no contracts or overages, but now no more fees. A true rate of $45 for unlimited talk, text, and web.
You get job benefits, company benefits, even card member benefits. But did you know DirecTV comes with benefits too?
I use Score Guide to check the Cardinal score and the Viking score while I watch my Colts score just by pressing the red button.
I used DVR Scheduler to record that comedy about Vegas while I was in Vegas. Downloaded the free DirecTV app. Done.
You've got the benefits of the best TV. DirecTV.
I'm Roland Gartner, world-renowned Hyundai salesman. You know, making deals is in my DNA, so I had to buy every new Elantra I could get my hands on, and I did. And now I'm selling them for under $14,000. My Elantra deal is perfect for smart bargain hunters. So if you're a coupon clipping and frugal car shopper, I got a deal for you. Get a brand new Gartner Hyundai for under $14,000, and we'll treat you like you own the place. That seems to go a long, long way.
High School Lights, tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Welcome back to Ames, Iowa, where it's all Cyclones after one half, 17-0. Steve Fiziak along with Joe Klatt. And in the first half, I remember talking to Joel, and he said they have to play great defense. Iowa State's done that. And Austin Arnott and Alex Robinson, you said, must play like Paul Rhodes believes they can play. A+ there.
Well, they're doing that. They're playing absolutely sensational football, and it starts with Austin Arnott at the quarterback position. They told us that he had to play more efficient football this year, and that's what he's doing. Great decisions in the run game, when to keep the football on the zone read, and then in the pass game, great feet, good technique, putting the ball exactly where it needs to be. Here's him running in for that first touchdown of the year for the Cyclones. Good toughness right there from Austin Arnott. And then Alexander Robinson, after Arnott had loosened up that defense with the zone read running game and throwing the football, here goes Robinson, and this is the long 63-yard touchdown run. Robinson has been absolutely sensational. You knew Northern Illinois was going to try to take him away from the Cyclones. I love the game plan. You come out, you let Arnott do his thing, and then Alexander Robinson hits him with that big run, 63 yards for a touchdown.
Our Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff leaders. Alexander Robinson, 9 carries, 64 yards. Arnott has been brilliant. Only 5 incompletions, 169 yards, and only 1 mistake. 1 minute left in the first half. He threw an interception that almost cost them some points. Still, those fans love the defense the Cyclones have played. Ricky Kreider on the return. And Kreider out past the 30-yard line. Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you there, Steve. As you see Northern Illinois' offense taking the field. Talked to Jerry Kill before the game. That is at halftime, and he told me right before half, he told his team, hey, you're playing lethargic. Let's get the motor going. He said in the second half, how you get back in it, they got to make a play. He's also sticking with his #1 quarterback who started the game, DeMarcus Grady.
That is interesting because Grady was efficient throwing the football when you look at his numbers, 10 for 15, but only 49 yards and 1 big interception that resulted in 7 Iowa State points. Chad Spann breaks 1 tackle and muscles his way past the 35-yard line. So we take a look at the Northern Illinois possessions. They missed that field goal after they went 11 plays down the field. The interception cost them 7.
It absolutely did, and I got to say that missed field goal that can kind of take the wind out of your sails. If you're an offense, you got 12 plays, you move the ball pretty efficiently, and then you don't get any points out of that. You start to press, and that's what we've seen thus far out of this offense, and especially DeMarcus Grady, the quarterback.
Grady did take most of the reps this week with the first unit. He'll throw the football and complete the pass for a first down at the 50-yard line, and that's his longest throw of the night.
Good timing right there. Great feet from DeMarcus Grady. I talked in the first half that he had to slow down his heartbeat, allow the receivers to get out of their break, and then deliver the ball accurately on their frame. He did that right there. That was a good pass as far as on your feet, on time, to settle himself down.
They need to score on this first possession to get that energy back on the team. Grady going deep. He's got a man open. Incomplete. Just too far for Martell Moore.
You do not want to watch that on film tomorrow if you're DeMarcus Grady. He had them. They bit. The safeties are up near the line of scrimmage. And there's Martell Moore running a terrific route. Beats the cornerback. Gets over the top of the safety in cloud coverage. Oh, Martell Moore wanted that one so badly. Just a yard shorter, and Martell Moore walks into the end zone. That's something that you got to be more efficient with if you're DeMarcus Grady.
2nd and 10. Fullback is Kyle Scarve in motion. Grady again goes deep. Will they rule him out of bounds, or is it a catch? It is a catch at the 30, inside the 30-yard line. Willie Clark. Wow.
Willie Clark showing some athleticism there. In the first half, the safeties were near the line of scrimmage. You know that the coaches came down from the box. Terrific athletic ability right there, getting that foot down by Willie Clark. The coaches said, we've got to get them off of us so we can get Chad Spann going. Got to throw the football down the field. See how close the safeties are to the line of scrimmage right there. They've got to get those guys back so they can get some sort of running game going.
The 2 best throws of the night by Grady. Now downfield and again too far for Willie Clark.
Here's what's going on. They have figured out the Iowa State defense. The safeties, and I saw this at the walkthrough yesterday. Steve, I was telling you about the safeties are actually playing sky coverage down into the flats. You see number 20 right there, down low into the box. That's Jake Knott. And again, they miss on that deep ball to Willie Clark.
2nd and 10. 3 receivers off to the left. Spann gets the call, the carry past the 25. This guy may be only 5'9", 198, but man, he finds the seams. And as we take a look at the first half stats, look at the numbers for Iowa State, 279 yards to 112, and they did not convert a 3rd down for Northern Illinois. 0 for 7. And you've got a 3rd down here. Moore to the right. They throw it to Moore. He makes the catch and has the first down near the 16-yard line.
Good game plan, good decision right there from DeMarcus Grady. So we take another look at this play. They're going to zone pressure from the field, try to drop the defensive end back into coverage. That means that the corner has deep responsibility, and it's an easy pitch and catch on a hitch route for a first down. That's exactly what you need to do if you're Northern Illinois. Get a 3rd down conversion and allow DeMarcus Grady to settle down.
Well, they swing it left, and he had a receiver Akeem Daniels, who's one of the fastest players in the team, wide open. But that's the third time on this drive. Even though Grady has made some fine throws, Joel, he's also missed 3 wide open receivers.
You know, it looks to me like his throwing motion has actually dipped a little bit. That tends to happen if you're not confident in where the football is going as far as your accuracy go. When your elbow goes down, that ball can float anywhere, especially the deep ball. And that's, I think, why we've seen him miss a couple of those post routes in this first series.
Shepard, the tight end to the right side. They'll run Span left, and he finds a hole. He busts past the 10, very close to a first down at the 6-yard line. I think they'll mark him at the 7. And it will be 3rd down and 1.
Down the field, the wide receivers keeping them busy. Look at that, Landon Cox, big guy, 220 pounds. He's going to get on a block. That's the block that sprung him right there, number 80, Landon Cox. Especially those big guys pulling, getting outside of the box, doing a nice job in space, being athletic. This drive has got to end in a touchdown. You cannot be inside the 10 and kick a field goal if you're Northern Illinois.
Span, he's got it, and he's got a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. He needed to get to the 6. They gave him good inside blocking by the guard Pegram and the center Weddage, and he slipped right in there for the 1st down.
Something tells me that there was an animated Jerry Kill at halftime in that locker room for the Huskies, because this team has come out and played inspired football, especially up front, hats on hats, getting off the ball, owning the line of scrimmage.
If it takes 4 times, I'm going to Span every time, and Chad gets the call to carry, and he's knocked down. Rashaan Parker, Stephen Rumpelhammer right there.
Jerry Kill before halftime, Steve, did something a little bit strange. This is on the field after the clock hit 0. He kept them on the field, gave him a nice little speech, and I can guarantee you right now, he's not telling them that they did a heck of a job in the first half, I can tell you that. Then they went into the locker room, and they've come out and they've played exceptional football here on this first drive offensively.
Everybody in tight defensively. Grady's going to run it. Gets to the 1 and then ripped back.
Fumble.
He fumbles the football, and Iowa State says they have it. No mark yet by the officials.
They're calling for white ball there. Yeah, it's going to be 3rd down. I believe Jake Knott got a hand in there, possibly a helmet on the football. Yeah, it was Jake Knott. See, he's holding him up right there, and like any good defender, rips the football out. That's a terrific job. And then it's a scrum for the football. Northern Illinois gets it. 3rd down. They've got to have another conversion here. Why are they not giving it to Chad Span? I don't know.
I was just going to ask you that. He scored 19 touchdowns on the ground last year, has a veteran offensive line. They've gone backwards after the last play, the carry by the quarterback. Span will be set right behind him. They've got a I formation. Grady's going to throw, and he overshoots his target. Willie Clark. Now it is 4th down. And they will bring the field goal unit on. They had a 1st and goal at the 1, and they'll be fortunate to come up with 3. And Jerry Kill, who's done a marvelous job throughout his career. I mean, he's coached Saginaw Valley State, Emporia State, and Southern Illinois to success. Led NIU to bowls the last 2 years in the Independence International, and he expected more from his team coming to Ames, Iowa. The new kicker is Matthew Sims, after Gomowski went 0 for 4 in the first half.
True freshman here.
It is on the way, and it is good. And finally, Northern Illinois is on the board as the true freshman from Hannibal, Missouri, pushes it through.
I'm Joe Montaigne. As a father of a daughter with autism, I know the challenges that brings. Military families impacted by autism wage a battle on 2 fronts. One for their country, and another for their children.
I know your God knows we're in a battle zone. Well, Well, I'm fighting the war back here, and I'm fighting it all alone.
With 1 in 88 military children diagnosed with autism, the families face extraordinary challenges. But there is hope. With intensive treatment, the lives of children with autism and their families can be changed. You can make a difference.
Tomorrow's the day we've all been waiting for. Maybe tomorrow.
To learn how you can help a military child with autism, go to acttodayformilitaryfamilies.org. Thank you.
Maybe tomorrow.
Relive a time when sports writers would sit around a table, smoke cigars, and just talk about sports.
From Chicago, it's the Sports Writers on TV.
Comcast Sportsnet is bringing back a piece of television history with Joust, Gleason, Bentley, and Tellender. Every week, we'll re-air a show relating to the current sports scene in Chicago that features pop-ups and fun facts about that era. Relive the Sports Writers on TV, beginning September 10th at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Have you ever driven a car with air conditioning that creates calming breezes, like in a forest? Have you driven a car that has pure silver dust hand-polished into the wood? Of course you haven't, because there's never been a car like the all-new Infiniti M. This is inspired performance. This is the way of Infiniti.
Every morning, start your day with Sports Rise on Comcast Sportsnet. Up-to-the-minute sports news, plus traffic and weather. Sports Rise every morning on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Go beyond the box score with Cy Young Award winner Steve Stone.
He's laying off the high fastball, but now he's swinging a lot of low breaking balls.
Watch Chicago Tribune Live and Sports Night Weekly for baseball insight from the man who played on both sides of town.
I believe in Kenny Williams' mind, every year is a year where you go after a championship.
I've always said that anger is a luxury that a pitcher can't afford because it distorts your perceptions. That personifies Carlos Zambrano.
Steve Stone, every week on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
I'm a hot babe out jogging. I'm not making sure this stays a 10 when you drive by. You're checking out my awesome headband when... Oops. That's when you find out your cut rate insurance, it ain't paying for this. So get Allstate. Save cash and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate.
The eyes you're born with are the ones you keep. They don't even grow much. Think about this. Many American children may need glasses and don't even know it because the vision screening they get at school isn't always enough. Eye problems can affect learning and behavior throughout your child's life. But a complete eye exam can change all that. Shouldn't your child see an eye doctor yearly? To learn more and for a list of local eye doctors, go to thinkaboutyoureyes.com. Your child's vision is nothing to play with.
Big 12 College Football Saturday is brought to you by McDonald's. Stop in and enjoy the McDouble on McDonald's Dollar Menu at participating locations. I'm loving it. By Philips Television, so amazing you won't be able to take your eyes off of it. And by Priority Mail flat rate boxes, only from the Postal Service, a simpler way to ship. We come to you from Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. Northern Illinois Huskies finally on the scoreboard with 3 points. They hope to get 7. That would have been an emotional lift. Settled for 3.
What did I say on the first third down? They're about the 8-yard line. I said they cannot leave this drive without a touchdown. That was a win for Iowa State. You know, the number 3 ranked defense, or excuse me, number 2 ranked red zone defense in the country a year ago bows their neck again, keeps their opponent out of the end zone.
Chantrell Johnson is back deep. He goes to one knee wisely. He's a true freshman who wanted to come out, but said, I better listen to the coaches who told me this far, one knee, take it at the 20. Fans Replay returns with an all-new season. Gatorade reunites 2 Southside Chicago high school basketball teams, Bloom and Brother Rice, whose 2000 Super Sectional game ended in controversy. Watch it live at replaytheseries.com September 10th at 7 o'clock. Joe Platt, Steve Physiak, Jim Knox with you. College Football Saturday Night Thursday special.
sometimes this is the hardest thing to do for an offense. You've had a great first half. You get cold in the locker room. You got to come out and start playing at that high level again. Let's see how Austin Arnott, Alexander Robinson, and the Cyclones do in the first drive.
Robinson forward for about a 3-yard gain, and Robinson now has a total of 67 yards on 10 carries, so he's averaging close to 7 yards per carry. And here's a look at their first half possessions.
If I was Tom Herman, the offensive coordinator, I would have gone in and I would have been pretty harsh with my offense. I'll tell you why. They didn't have to punt. They killed themselves, and you see with this possession chart, missed a field goal, interception, fumble. They could have scored more points. They left some points on the board in the first half. They've got to play more efficient football here in the second.
Arnott still with plenty of time, incomplete with the pass. It'll be 3rd down intended for Jake Williams, and Williams was the guy who made that terrific catch against Nebraska to help to a 9-7 victory over the Huskers in Lincoln.
Boy, I mean, that has gone just a long way. That win in general, the YouTube video of the locker room for Paul Rhodes and the Cyclones, that's kind of a win that is a benchmark. Even though they were having a good year up to that point, it's a benchmark. It catapults them into the bowl game. A win in the bowl game sends the seniors off right, and it lets these guys, now seniors in the second year of Paul Rhodes, really have something tangible to build upon.
On 3rd down, blitz is on. Arnott slips away and then just throws the football away. He tried to hit Cedric Johnson, but this was a great recruiting tool. They upset Nebraska 9-7, and Paul in the locker room, if you're a recruit, you say, I want to play for this coach.
Absolutely. We have video. Let's roll it.
I could not be proud. No, I am so proud. Listen to me! I am so proud to be your coach!
This is a guy who was born in Nevada, Iowa, just 10 minutes from the stadium in Ames. And he was the valedictorian in high school and very proud to come here and lead his football team.
There was a personal foul there, late hit on the quarterback. That's why we got a 1st and 10 for Iowa State.
Here goes Robinson. Almost to midfield.
But, you know, watching that video, first of all, as a former player, I mean, that gets my blood going. And I'll tell you that the backstory on this is that Gene Chizik, after 2 years, just leaves Iowa State. And so these kids were dying to have someone who believed in them. And so that statement meant more than you just beat Nebraska. It meant that he was proud to be an Iowa Cyclone. And that's why those kids reacted so positively to that speech. And it wasn't the first time he had ever said it to them either. He said it to them at their first meeting. He said it in his interview with the athletic director here at Iowa State. He said, you know what, I would tell the kids that I'm proud to be their football coach. That was kind of the genesis of the whole Nebraska speech.
Arnott, the keeper, is pushed back for a yard loss, and he's a guy who went away from the Ames area, was a defensive back at Missouri Western. There is Paul. Father Cecil was a high school coach for 3 decades, is in the Iowa Hall of Fame. Said his dad used to bring him to Cyclone and Drake football games every Saturday. On 2nd and 10. Flag down. This might be holding.
Yeah, it's going to be holding. Here we get the left tackle, big number 72, the second team all Big 12 left tackle, Kelechi Osemele. Yep. Big number 72 there. Their best offensive lineman. He's had a sensational night so far. And unfortunately for the big fellas, a lot of times, the only time their number is called is when they've just done something bad like a holding. But he's had a fantastic night. In large part, well, Arnott and Robinson in large part have been successful because of Osemele and what he's done there on the edge on the left side. I think he got caught in between. You see he was looking to his inside gap. That has to be a little bit of a busted protection. He just grabs a hold right there of Sean Progar, the defensive end in Northern Illinois. That's going to be called every time.
Still, they're averaging as a team 6.7 yards for rush. Obviously, a long run of 63 yards by Alex Robinson, but we've seen 7-8 yard sprints by Arnott, by Robinson.
Well, and I don't think we've given enough credit to the offensive line and the big guys up front. You got Osimile, Alvarez, a starter last year. Lamont goes from guard to center, replacing big Reggie Stevens, who was a sensational center here for the Cyclones. Hayworth Hicks back after injury a year ago. Braden Burris, a sophomore, he's doing a sensational job up front. These guys are blocking their butts off, and that's the reason Arnott and Robinson have had such a good night.
First down, it's Jake Williams. Arnott is not only moving the chains, he's putting points up there. 17 tonight, a 14-point lead on a good Northern Illinois team.
This is a terrific route. Always break a crisp inside route. You've got to give your frame to the quarterback. That's what Williams does. Terrific throw right there. You go up, get it, and then you protect the football before you go down to the turf. Excellent job, excellent execution by Iowa State right there on third down.
Williams had a big inside goal and scored a touchdown in their victory over Minnesota. Arnott still, he falls down. It seemed like the defensive end, Sean Progar, pushed the offensive lineman into Arnott, knocking him over.
That's big 6'6", 290-pound sophomore Braden Burris just gets up too high. You cannot play football too high. I can tell you that hurts Austin Arnott. That cleat right in the top of your foot. I don't think that there is anything that hurts any worse than that when 290 pounds comes right on the top of your foot with that cleat. Oof. I'll tell you what, you start screaming some pretty nasty things when you hit the turf after that.
2nd and 15. They rush 4. They throw it to the right. They're inside to the 35-yard line. Catch made by Cedric Johnson. It will make it 3rd down. And they continue to move the chains and also move the clock. 6:26 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
This Cedric Johnson, he's got all the makings to be a great wide receiver. 6'3", 209 pounds. Early in the game, he was a little rattled. Dropped a couple of passes, but he's settled down and he's run some terrific routes, and that's exactly what you should do on 2nd down. Get half of it back. Now they're in a manageable 3rd down situation. You can run a normal play.
They need 7. Blitz. He flips it off to Robinson, who escapes and leans forward for a 1st down. Oh, did they mark him short? Alexander's furious.
Boy, from our vantage point up here, it looked like he had stretched the football out. But they're going to come up and sneak this football again. They're going to go up to the line of scrimmage, and Arnott is ready. They're foot to foot at the offensive line, and here comes the sneak.
And he pulls his way forward. The mark will be important. Jake Kaufman came in, and then a late flag. What happened here? Frustration.
The big Ben Lamont is saying that's a Husky penalty.
Against the offense, and you could see Paul Rhodes pointing to his head, telling one of his players, be smart.
I think that they just pointed in the wrong direction.
Oh, you're kidding. Because it was interesting because Paul was pointing and be smart.
Yeah, that's a Husky penalty there. And Paul Rhodes, he's pointing to his head because everybody knows that in football, the second guy gets the penalty. So you never want to retaliate. Clearly some frustration is setting in for Northern Illinois. This is a team that should be playing better defense. Top defense in the MAC a year ago, and Iowa State is having their way with them. Paul Rhodes just letting his Cyclones know that, hey, we're not going to get involved in that game. Be smart. Just play Cyclone football.
Arnott throws, completes the pass. His tight end Franklin, who's come up with some big plays, and they're inside the 10-yard line.
Another flag down late. I think we're going to get some maybe offensive pass interference there in the end zone. Josh Lentz. Yeah, number 19, Josh Lentz, was in the corner of the end zone. I think that he was blocking just a little bit too soon. Of course, as a wide receiver, if that ball crosses the line of scrimmage on a forward pass, you can't start blocking until it's caught. So clearly the official thought that Josh turned around a little bit too soon as Franklin caught that out route a little bit short of Lentz, turned around too soon and engaged the defender up there, Chris Smith, the cornerback for the Huskies.
Paul Rhodes does not like that as he paces the sideline. His team
Another
now pacing.
I mean, that happened to them earlier. Yeah. You remember Williams earlier in the first half, a pass interference call offensively that took them out of a drive that should have ended in a touchdown. Now they got first and forever. Arnott's got to make some chunks up here.
Austin throws the football to the 25. They need to get to the 3-yard line for the first down as the catch made by Alexander Robinson, tackled by Tyrone Clark. But one of the things that Rhodes talked about yesterday was last year they had 31 drives of 7 or more plays that resulted in 0 points. And
that is amazing.
It's mistakes.
It's mistakes, and that's how you end up being the number 12th ranked offense, scoring offense in the Big 12. Is you don't put points on the board when you've executed in the middle of the football field.
They've really outgained Northern Illinois tonight. They go downfield, and he has his second interception picked off. It's intercepted by Tyrone Clark. And Clark is out past the 40-yard line. So a big play here, and it goes back to, was Arnott getting to Grady?
Well, he had his wide receiver open. Franklin was open in the middle of the football field. No, excuse me, that was Cedric Johnson or Darius Darks. Bad decision. Don't go broke taking a profit. Iowa State, though, still a big lead, 17-3.
As athletes and students, they dreamed of victory and achievement. As soldiers and citizens, they dream of freedom and prosperity. But it's not about the dream. It's how you live that dream. So, to the men and women of the armed forces, the Big 12 Conference and its 12-member institutions salute you. Thank you, because by living your dreams, you give us the freedom to live our dreams. The Big 12 Conference. Live the dream.
Quiet on the set. Take 73. What? Get moving. Bob Rohrman's bar the boba. It's a diddly.
There's only one Bob Rohrman.
Tomorrow, Comcast Sportsnet is your college football kickoff headquarters. At 11:30, Illinois-Mizzou square off with bragging rights on the line. And at 6:30 on CSN+, Northwestern takes on Vanderbilt. It's a Big Ten doubleheader beginning tomorrow at 11:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Every night, the premier Chicago sports show with the best local coverage of your favorite Chicago sports teams is Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Watch as the largest sports staff in the city goes in-depth on everything that matters to the true Chicago sports fan. Breaking news, extended highlights, in-depth interviews, and exclusive access you won't find anywhere else. Sports Night, every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
I'll have the usual. And remember, I was never here.
I like my sliders like I like my men. Bold.
What's up?
And unique.
What's up?
With all the bold, unique flavors at White Castle, there's a slider for everyone. Choose from 7 Savor Sack meals, like 3 A1 sliders, 2 chicken ring sliders, or 3 jalapeno cheese sliders. Get them in a Savor Sack for only $2.99. White Castle. Grab a sack, you'll be back.
Cubs fans, log on to csnchicago.com and click the Cubs tab for the best coverage of your team. You'll find in-depth breakdowns from beat writer Patrick Mooney and behind-the-scenes access with Luke Stuckmeyer's Bricks and Ivy, plus exclusive video, injury reports, stats, schedules, and more.
Welcome back. Iowa State up 17-3. Austin Arnott, his second interception of the night. I don't know who he was throwing that to. Darius Darks was there. That ball was very underthrown. Austin Arnott, he's talked about being a more efficient quarterback, taking those interceptions out of his game 13 a year ago. He's not going to like watching that one on film tomorrow.
Well, he didn't like 2 numbers he had last year. 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. And he said that must change, and a lot of the interceptions were bad decisions. First half of the Insight Bowl, 2 interceptions, and yet his team was able to rally for the 1-point win. Now it's DeMarcus Grady.
Northern
5-0 in his career as a starter.
Yeah, and I got to say, Northern Illinois has got to be thankful they're still in this football game, because this Iowa State offense has not taken advantage of their opportunities. So if you're the Huskies, you can get a touchdown right here, cut it to 7. It's a 1-possession game.
Span. First down inside the 45-yard line. Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, Steve, take away those 2 interceptions. Austin Arnott right here on the bench has played a terrific game. He's been pacing the sidelines and saying, my fault, my fault. And just moments ago, Coach Rhodes came to this bench and asked his players to gather around him, huddled them up and said, guys, we got to play smart. We got to play smart. We got to finish this thing off. We'll see what happens.
Thank you, Jim, because it's a first down, and it was Hopkins on that last carry instead of Chad Span. Hopkins is the flasher, faster and quicker than Chad. They're going to go deep down the left side, and it is incomplete. He had Landon Cox wide open near the 20-yard line, but again, a poorly thrown ball by DeMarcus.
I think he saw the rush there. You just got little 174-pound Jazz Hopkins in the game, and that blitz right up the A gap, he's not necessarily going to just stop those linebackers who all weigh about 230, 240 pounds. If I'm DeMarcus Grady, I want to see Chad Span next to me, because Iowa State hadn't stopped Chad Span. I don't know why Northern Illinois won't just give Chad Span the football.
They go to Hopkins, and he has nothing. Jake Knott on the carry, on the tackle, excuse me. The 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Philips Televisions. Steve Physiak, Joe Klatt, Jim Knox with you. It's a 3rd down and 9. Iowa State fans getting involved, trying to get their defense to turn back the Huskies. Span back in the game. Palmer in motion. Grady taking off. He needed to get to the 33-yard line for a first down and got to the 35 where Knott made the tackle.
Jake Knott, linebacker for Iowa State, he's just spying DeMarcus Grady right here. He comes in your screen right here, makes a nice tackle around the legs of DeMarcus Grady. If you're Grady, you got to understand that they're spying you. You can't just take off on 3rd down, because you're going to leave yourself a 4th and 4 or 3, which is very hard to convert. You got to be aware of the defense that's being run against you as a quarterback.
They're going for it on 4th down. They give it to Span. He escapes to the right. He's got the first down to the 25. Inside the 25, they'll mark him out near the 24-yard line.
Chad Span has been your most effective weapon as a football team, and especially in offense. You got to continue to give this guy the rock. Great inside move, bounces outside, good block right here. That's how you get somebody on the ground. You go after their legs. You got to continue to give this guy the ball. The only reason drives have stopped is because you tried to throw it or you put Jazz Hopkins in the game.
Grady flips it to Span. To the 20, gain of 3. Neal on the tackle. Well, they're beginning to move the chains, but much like the first half, they need to come up with more than 3 points. If they can score a touchdown, they've got 15 minutes and 56 seconds to get right back in this game.
This is what's difficult. As Iowa State a year ago was 2nd in the country in red zone defense, that's where you're at if you're Northern Illinois. You've got to solve that puzzle, whether it's a pass or a run. I like giving the ball to Chad Span right here. He's been nothing but brilliant tonight for the Huskies.
They throw it to Moore, and it's intercepted! Intercepted by Jake Knott. It was tipped by Patrick Neal, the defensive end. And Northern Illinois, every time they do something right, they do something wrong. And Knott with his first college interception. When we return, we'll join John Radigan for an Academy Sports and Outdoors game break.
Today, the Cubs meet the Mets at Clark and Edison. Tune in as the Northsiders hope to swipe a win from New York. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs, Mets, today at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. This season, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Mondays at 4:30, it's United Bears Recap featuring Lovey's Presser from Hallis Hall. Wednesdays and Thursdays, Bears Blitz presented by Jimmy Johns looks at X's and O's as the Bears get set for Sunday. Thursday nights at 11, countdown to kickoff with Lance Briggs, and Tom Thayer provides a player's perspective. And after every game, U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live brings you 90 minutes of analysis, interviews, and coaches' remarks like nowhere else in Chicago. All season long, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Down here, we do one thing at a time.
On Sunday, we watch the Dolphins game.
But our friend Al got an NFL Sunday ticket. Now he watches 8 games live on one screen.
It's too many things.
Since he can handle such stimulation, let's make him dance with Miss Keener after bingo.
Watch 8 games live on one screen. Upgrade to NFL Sunday Ticket today.
Go with the brand that gets results with strong roots and strong stocks for performance you can take to the bin. Go with industry-leading DeKalb genetics and proven Genuity trait technology, letting you get more from every acre. Go all season strong. Go with DeKalb.
Every morning on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan. Friday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll have a preview of the Sox' huge series with the Red Sox in Boston, recap the Bears' preseason finale, and the Cubs play the Mets. It's all Friday at 5:30.
John Radigan with an Academy Sports game break. Upset brewing in Utah where Jordan Wynn hits Jeremy Brooks with 2 touchdowns. That one made it 14-7. 17-7 now, an upset in the making. Steve and Joel, back to you.
Thank you very much. And Utah, a very good football team that will be moving into the Pac-10 next year. They lead Pittsburgh 17-7. Here it's 17-3. Cyclones over the Huskies, and that young man Grady just got picked off by Jake Knott. And Jake Knott walked into Paul Rhodes' office yesterday and said, "Coach, I'm nervous, but I'm ready." He's had 1 forced fumble and 1 interception.
Well, you know what? You should be nervous and you should be ready, and he's played like it tonight.
Now on first down, Iowa State running Robinson past the 20 and near the 23-yard line.
I want to go back to that interception. And one of the reasons why a quarterback will get a pass tipped at the line of scrimmage is because his elbow is too low. And this is a great shot here from the Exmo camera. And right there, the elbow is below his shoulder. That elbow has got to be up near your face mask or your cheek, higher than your shoulder to get a higher launch angle out of the football. The football comes out level with his helmet. There's never an ability to get up over the defensive line. That's why a pass is tipped. And once it's tipped, you got a free-for-all, and Jake Knott was able to go grab the football.
Great call, and there is the young man, Jake Knott, who just picked off his first pass, and Paul Rhodes has a 17-3 lead over a very good Northern Illinois team. You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
White Sox fans, log on to csnchicago.com and click the White Sox tab for the best coverage of your team. You'll find in-depth breakdowns from beat writer Brett Ballantini and behind-the-scenes access with Chuck Garfine's Sox Drawer, plus video, injury reports, stats, schedules, and more.
That's why saving automatically is a great first step, Tom.
Yeah, I'll be saving money without even thinking about it.
And you'll be surprised at how fast those automatic transfers will add up.
Oh.
And that's just in the first year.
That's strange. I mean, I know I'm just getting started, but I already feel like I'm in a better place.
That's great.
Put yourself in a better place today. Come into Harris and see how 5 helpful steps, like saving automatically, can help make money make sense.
MetroMix.com is your guide to the best of what to do and where to go. Search thousands of restaurants, bars, events, and more. Plan it, do it, review it. MetroMix.com.
The game of golf is full of treasures, memories, keepsakes. But it's more than that. It tests your will and captures the soul. Golf is the sport of a lifetime, played by people of all ages all over the world. Here at Golf Chicago, we have an appreciation of this terrific game with a special Windy City touch.
Don't miss Golf Chicago on Comcast Sportsnet. Check local listings.
He wants the lefty.
Comcast Sportsnet answers the call. Catch us on Sports Night and CSNChicago.com. Comcast Sportsnet fans' best friend.
Iowa State with a 14-point lead over Northern Illinois. Time for our Geico quote from Paul Rose.
All that gives national recognition to our program. Playing a bowl game at night where everybody was watching gives national recognition to the program. People know who are playing in December and January, and they know when passion pours out of a coach in a football team, and they like it. And we've seen that immediately come back to us with our recruiting efforts.
And he's trying to become the first Cyclone coach since Noel Workman in 1926 and 27 with winning records in his first 2 seasons on the job. Calvin Coolidge was the president. Mount Rushmore was dedicated, and prohibition was still the law in the state of Iowa and the U.S. Alexander Robinson on the carry. Alan Baxter on the tackle. Alexander Robinson with a healthy 87 yards and 13 carries, 13 shy from another 100-yard ball game. He had 6 100-yard games last year. Already graduated in management. Third down. They need 2. Robinson gets him the 2. Our Honda game summary.
We talked about Austin Arnott. Was he going to be a different quarterback this year? Well, he's thrown the 2 interceptions. Got to clean that up. But 22 of 29. He's already the career leader in completion percentage for Iowa State. That's just going. I mean, he's just adding to that. 207 yards, very good. But you got to be more tidy than the 2 interceptions. You got to clean that up if you're Austin Arnott. If you want to win 6, 7, 8 football games in this league.
First down, 10 yards to go. Arnott flips it and a little too high. It'll be 2nd and 10. Joe, you were a terrific quarterback at Colorado, but how long were you the starter at Colorado where you understood take what the defense gives you?
Well, very early. I would say that actually young quarterbacks, especially if they don't have the ability with their feet to run, because I definitely did not have that. You tend to do that very early. Sometimes it's harder to teach a quarterback that late. You know, if he's got that gunslinger mentality, he's going to have that. It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks in that respect.
Arnott keeps it himself, but a terrific defensive play by linebacker Tyrone Clark, who has an interception and also a tackle behind the line right here.
This guy has played a fantastic football game right up here at the top of your screen. Oh, he was one player above that, but I got to tell you what, I've been impressed with Northern Illinois, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, Iowa State has moved the football, but they've kept them to 17 points. And Northern Illinois is still in this football game. If they can get a score, and I say that every drive, but it's just 2 possessions, folks, and that's not necessarily that tough to overcome in 1 quarter. It's just a couple of big plays away.
Well, this is a time where Arnott has to manage the clock well. And he throws an incomplete pass near the 40-yard line, but he made sure that the ball was not near a Husky.
Great footwork here from Austin Arnott in the pocket. Stay in balance, getting himself in a position to deliver a football down the field, even in the face of a rush. You see how his feet is able to get him out of the pocket, and then he delivers a strike. Excellent action right there from Austin Arnott. Jake Williams has got to rein that ball in. That's a first down. That's a conversion. That's holding the football, keeping your defense off the field. That's a play that needs to be made if you want to win this football game.
We are seeing the first punt of the night by Iowa State. It comes from senior Daniel Keel, who gets it across midfield, and Northern Illinois still has plenty of time to get back in this game. 13:02 left. But Grady and company cannot make any more mistakes.
Dreams shattered, love lost. A celebration with friends. If you drink and drive, not only can you lose your freedom, but you may be stealing someone else's future. The effects of drunk driving are devastating for everyone. Don't drink and drive.
Tonight at 10:30, don't miss High School Lights on Comcast Sportsnet. Every week, see us in Combs, Chicagoland for the hottest high school football highlights. Our team of reporters delivers exclusive tales from the gridiron.
This playoff run is quickly becoming a cherished experience.
And previews the season's biggest matchups. It's your guide to the high school gridiron. High School Lights, tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
There's a mystical island in the Eastern Caribbean called St. Lucia.
Where you'll find 3 sandals, the most romantic resorts on planet Earth.
It's the luxury-included vacation that makes you go, wow.
A lot.
Where exceptional suites are the rule.
And adventure is included.
A place you actually have to see to believe.
And share with someone to appreciate.
Welcome to the luxury-included St. Lucia.
Welcome to Sandals. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Get closer to the field on game day as Comcast Sportsnet, Menards, and the Cubs team up to select 6 lucky winners to be a Menards Wrigley Field groundskeeper for a day. Winner will enjoy the full game day experience of preparing the friendly confines and will help drag the infield during the 4th inning. Winner also receives 4 tickets to the game, a Menards groundskeeper uniform, and pregame photos on the field. To enter the Menards Wrigley Field groundskeeper for a day, visit any Menards location and pick up an entry postcard.
Back in Ames, Iowa, we're in the 4th quarter. Iowa State leading Northern Illinois by the score of 17-3. Hey, listen up, college football fans. You guys ready? All right. McDonald's is looking for the fan of the season. If you think you're the fan of the season, what you got to do is send your video to fanoftheseason.com. That's fanoftheseason.com. You can win up to $10,000 towards your man cave. Could it be one of these guys or girls? Who knows? Send your video to fanoftheseason.com. You can win close to $10,000 in prizes. Do that now, Steve.
Noxie has more fun than any sideline reporter I know, and he's having fun here in Ames, Iowa. And how about this? The Iowa State colors are the same as McDonald's. It's an easy sell for a Cyclone fan.
It's perfect
Look
for
at that
them.
guy. He's eating plenty of Big Macs.
Noxie is, look at that.
Guy's helmet right here, man. This is like back in 1910, I think. This is great.
That's the one Joe Klatt wore at Colorado Buffaloes when he suffered one of his 10 concussions.
There you go. Maybe I should have put on one of these new helmets, right?
DeMarcus Grady back at the controls, gives it to Span. Chad escapes left side, and look at the strength in this young man. He should have been stopped for a 4, maybe 5-yard gain. Instead, he almost gets the first down.
4.6 yards a carry on the night, 12 carries for 57 yards before that last carry. He's been nothing but great for this team. See the spinning handoff to Chad Span, some pulling offensive linemen, but again, the strength in his lower body. The ability to stay on your feet on contact. That's what makes a running back very good. Now in 3rd and short, you're going to see another quarterback sneak. I love that play on 3rd and short, Steve, because it's so efficient. You almost always get the first down, and why not do it on 3rd down rather than doing it on 4th when they expect it?
And they're in 4-down territory, down 14 points with under 12 minutes to go. Span, though, you're talking about him. He is a dope walker candidate. They've always had great running backs, going back to Rashaan Johnson, who gained over 2,000 yards for the Huskies years ago. Then Michael Turner plays for the Falcons, and of course Garrett Wolf, who we showed you at the end of the first half. Grady fakes to Span, looks left, now cuts up the middle, has it to the 20, and near another first down.
Good, smart decision right there. Earlier in the game, Jake Knott was spying him. Iowa State had a guy just for DeMarcus Grady. Now on this play, he takes a look, He exhausts all his options downfield, understands that there's no spike. Now you can take off. Now you've got a manageable situation. Now it's just 2nd and 1. This is a perfect time for play action pass. Fake it to Chad Span, get the safeties up, take one of those shots down towards the end zone, because this is the time where you can hit that shot.
58 yards rushing on 11 carries for Grady. He rolls to the right. He might as well run it again, get the first down, and go out of bounds, stopping the clock at the 10:50 mark. And he has his team about 18 yards from the end zone.
Starting to see the maturation of DeMarcus Grady right now. I know he started some games last year, but it's always new. A new season is always new, and you're seeing him slow down. He goes through his progression. Number 1, no. Number 2, no. Okay, I'm going to take off right now. Here's the sticks. I'm going to get myself out of bounds. Now we're in the red zone. We got to put points on the board. This is where I like giving it to Chad Span. 19 touchdowns a year ago, tied a Husky record.
Span goes and swings out the left side, makes the catch, gets the 15, and gets to the 14-yard line. Good gain of 4 yards on the play.
Good defense there. Good lateral pursuit from Iowa State, getting down the line of scrimmage, stopping Chad Span for only about 3.5 yards right there. This guy's electric, and if you give him a seam, he's going to find it. So that's good pursuit right there. All your angles are protected. Jake Knott and the like there. A.J. Klein for Iowa State doing a terrific job getting Chad Span down to the ground.
Let's see if they go back to Chad. They do. He goes up the middle. He's got the first down inside the 5-yard line. Remember, they had a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line and did not score.
And they did not give the ball to Chad Span. This is a terrific job up front by Northern Illinois. Big hole for Chad Span. Thunders through that hole. Gets behind his pads. Every time that an Iowa State defender hits Chad Span, he runs through the first tackle. It's taking 2 to tackle this guy. Let's give the ball to Chad Span. 19 touchdowns a year ago. He can put it in.
Fullback goes motion. Double tight end. Span. Big hole left side, and he muscles his way to the goal line, short by about a yard. 2nd down and goal.
You can see why this guy scores that many touchdowns, Steve, because he's just so hard to bring down. See where his knee actually hits, reaches the football out towards the goal line. Yeah, he was down. That's a good spot right there by the officials. Now you got 2nd and 1. In my opinion, this is 3 opportunities to give it to Chad Span.
Grady, quarterback sneak. Is he in? They mark it. The linesman comes in and signals touchdown, Northern Illinois. So finally the Huskies at the scoreboard. 8:51 left. This is anybody's game.
A lot of time. The defense for the Huskies doing a terrific job, not allowing Iowa State to run away with this. Getting up close to the line of scrimmage now. Nice job with the tempo for Northern Illinois. And then DeMarcus Grady, all he's got to do is keep his feet moving, get behind those big boys up front, and get that ball across the end zone.
Sims for the point after. Klimovsky was the kicker in the first half. Now they're going to the true freshman. Dead, solid, perfect. And Northern Illinois down by just 10. Jerry Kill believes they're coming back on the Iowa State Cyclones.
I'll have the usual. And remember, I was never here.
I like my sliders like I like my men. Bold.
What's up?
And unique. What's up?
With all the bold, unique flavors at White Castle, there's a slider for everyone. Choose from 7 Savor Sack meals, like 3 A1 sliders, 2 chicken ring sliders, or 3 jalapeno cheese sliders. Get them in a Savor Sack for only $2.99. White Castle. Grab a sack, you'll be back.
Every night, the premier Chicago sports show with the best local coverage of your favorite Chicago sports teams is Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Watch as the largest sports staff in the city goes in-depth on everything that matters to the true Chicago sports fan. breaking news, extended highlights, in-depth interviews, and exclusive access you won't find anywhere else. Sports Night, every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
CSNChicago.com.
The best place for breaking news and behind-the-scenes access.
The most blogs and insiders.
And everything outside the box score.
CSNChicago.com. Your destination for everything White Sox.
He make everybody around him better, too. That's no question.
Your internet home for all things Cubs.
Whatever I can do to help the team, and that's what I'm doing here. If they want me to play first base, I'll do it.
CSNChicago.com.
A fan's best friend online.
Today, the Cubs meet the Mets at Clark and Edison. Tune in as the Northsiders hope to swipe a win from New York. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs, Mets, today at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Starfine gets you up to speed. Catch us on Sports Night and CSNChicago.com. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Better write that down.
We're always warmed up and ready to go. Catch us on Sports Night and CSNChicago.com. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Chad Span with 80 yards. He's got some cramps going on, but still he's got Northern Illinois within 7 of Iowa State. Coming up September 12th, the regular season begins with a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, the Panthers take on Eli Manning and the Giants, or the Falcons battle the Steelers or Lions and Bears. Then a whole bunch of other great games like Packers, Eagles, Seahawks, 49ers, Cardinals, Rams. Coverage begins Sunday, September 12th with the Ford Fox NFL pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Jim Knox was with those fans earlier today when they were painting themselves, and they say they have the keys to victory, or Jimmy's car. He's not going to be able to get back to Des Moines tonight.
They did just pick him up onto their shoulders. Maybe they were picking his pockets, right?
Shaking him back. Huskies defense playing much better. They at one time were down 17-0, but the Cyclones have not scored in the last 30 minutes. They have the football at the 27-yard line. Let's go back and take a look at that last Husky drive.
Well, it was set up by a poor punt from Iowa State. Get the ball in Iowa State territory, and then you got to let your man get going. Hard to bring down to the ground. Chad Span. DeMarcus Grady really grew up on this drive. At a halftime, I wanted to see how this guy would play some good decisions. Ran for a first down. Then the offensive line took over. Big hole for Chad Span to get inside the 5-yard line. DeMarcus Grady sneaks it in for the touchdown. Now we got a one-possession game, and Austin Arnott and the Iowa State Cyclones are going to have to come out and answer that drive. You got to put something together that keeps your defense off the field and puts points on the board.
Alexander Robinson has gained 91 yards on 15 carries. They'll flip the pass to the tight end Franklin. He is past the 30 to the 32-yard line. The 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Phillips Televisions. And you just saw Franklin he's going to have to come out of the game.
Hope that's a cramp and not a knee. I know he's grabbing at his right knee.
We've got a timeout on the field. 8:34 left. Cyclones 17. Huskies 10.
After every Cubs game, catch Sylvania Cubs postgame live. Todd Hollinsworth and Gail Fisher break down the big game.
You've got parts on this team that are really, really good. They just haven't really worked together yet.
Plus, hear all the postgame comments.
Put a few runs on the board and everybody's happy. That's a formula that we'd like to see.
And go live inside the locker room for player reaction. Sylvania Cubs postgame live after every Cubs game on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Nissan's bottom line sales event is ending, so we're laying it all on the line with up to $1,000 bonus cash on top of all existing offers. Nissan's bottom line sales event. Get 0% financing on most new Nissans, plus up to $1,000 bonus cash. Hurry, event ends September 6th. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today.
This season, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Mondays at 4:30, it's United Bears Recap featuring Lovie's Presser from Hellas Hall. Wednesdays and Thursdays, Bears Blitz presented by Jimmy Johns looks at X's and O's as the Bears get set for Sunday. Thursday nights at 11, countdown to kickoff with Lance Briggs, and Tom Thayer provides a player's perspective. And after every game, U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live brings you 90 minutes of analysis, interviews, and coaches' remarks like nowhere else in Chicago. All season long, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Big 12 College Football Saturday is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, low price every day. Brought to you in part by Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. By Philips Television, so amazing you won't be able to take your eyes off of it. And by Wingstop. Want wings? Choose from 9 mouth-watering flavors at Wingstop, the wing experts. That darling little girl, part of the 50,000 plus here at Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. Cyclones leading 17-10. Second down. 5 yards to go for Austin Arnaud and Iowa State. They swing it right. They've got Darks, and Darks short of the first down. Let's go to Jim Knox.
All right, CBC, good news is Colin Franklin's got the helmet on. He's about to go back on the field, back on the sidelines right now as they run one more play, but he is A-OK.
They might go with that. Well, he's not under the center. They're going to run Robinson, and Alex will get the first down. Boy, Arnaud is so clever, and it just freezes the defense for a moment, allowing those big guys in the front line to get a little more surge on the defensive line.
Well, that's their bread and butter. I mean, they've got to be good at that in order to be an efficient offense, and that means the deception of the zone read, making sure that Austin Arnaud kind of rides, we called it ride in the side of that running back. You ride him in for about a yard, make sure that the defense does not have a good idea of who has that football.
They've taken a minute off the clock. Now they've got a first down. Arnaud's going to run it. Boy, they wrapped him up after only a 2-yard gain to the 40-yard line. So now Northern Illinois will run on their nickel package. So back in the game is Jake Kaufman, who's one of their best rush ends, number 54.
This is quarterback time. And you have got to manage the game. Yes, you're trying to run the clock, milk the clock. You've got to make great decisions. You've got to manage the clock. You've got to do all those things. Austin Arnaud is running a very efficient drive here. A couple of more first downs. You got to dwindle this clock inside of 2 minutes.
They swing it left. They got a couple of good blocks from some wide receivers. And they've got the football up near a first down as Josh Lenz on the catch.
Great blocking on the outside. Darius Darks, I believe, was out there. Josh Lentz is going to catch this football. These wide receivers doing a heck of a job on the outside. I believe that's Colin Franklin who comes back into the ball game. Darius Darks with a couple of good blocks right there. But that's the situation. Austin Arnaud, I guarantee you, had a choice. He could have handed it off or he could go outside. The numbers dictated that he goes outside. He makes a good decision. They get a first down because of it.
That clock is moving. They've taken 2 minutes off of it on the drive. Arnaud's going downfield. He's got his man Franklin wide open inside the 20-yard line. I think everybody was thinking it was going to Robinson, and instead they go over the top.
Well, that's what happens when you've got a dominating offensive line and they're owning the line of scrimmage. They tried this play earlier in the third quarter, and Arnaud threw an interception. Colin Franklin, though, does a heck of a job getting behind the linebackers, and now the quick tempo from Iowa State.
This time Kaufman with the read coming from the left defensive end for the tackle, and he is a great story. All MAC second team, played 5 games at defensive end, 7 at nose guard, and we told you 26 years old, the former Marine, 2 tours in the Middle East.
Wow. That's impressive.
Played at Camp Pendleton.
Defensive Player of the Year there in 2005.
Yeah. Robinson set off to the right side. From the 17-yard line, Arnaud trying to put this game in the deep freeze in Ames, Iowa. Blitz is on. Arnaud flips it left, completes it. Yes, the catch made at the 11-yard line by Cedric Johnson. Chris Smith on the coverage.
Great recognition there by Austin Arnott. They were blitzing Northern Illinois was from the wide side of the field. That tells me as a quarterback I've got one thing on the weak side or the short side. I've got one-on-one coverage, and the corner's going to be playing off. Let's throw an easy out route out there. That's an easy completion. Now it's only 3rd and 3. Very manageable situation for the Cyclones.
As a quarterback, you want to be aggressive, and yet you also understand that 3 points could seal this game.
Well, that's why we talk about managing the game. You know what? Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, they're great, but they do just this. They manage the football game. Austin Arnott has got to do just that.
Tonight at 10:30, don't miss High School Lights on Comcast Sportsnet. Every week, CSN combs Chicagoland for the hottest high school football highlights. Our team of reporters delivers exclusive tales from the gridiron.
This playoff run is quickly becoming a cherished experience.
And previews the season's biggest matchups. It's your guide to the high school gridiron. High School Lights, tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan. Friday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll have a preview of the Sox' huge series with the Red Sox in Boston, recap the Bears' preseason finale, and the Cubs play the Mets. It's all Friday at 5:30.
Dreams shattered, love lost. A celebration with friends. If you drink and drive, not only can you lose your freedom, but you may be stealing someone else's future. The effects of drunk driving are devastating for everyone. Don't drink and drive.
Tomorrow, Comcast Sportsnet is your college football kickoff headquarters. At 11:30, Illinois-Mizzou square off with bragging rights on the line. And at 6:30 on CSN+, Northwestern takes on Vanderbilt. It's a Big Ten doubleheader beginning tomorrow at 11:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Now, good night and go to sleep.
Okay, Mom, good night.
Yes! In the net, they score! The Hawks win the Stanley Cup! They've won the Stanley Cup! It's over! They did it! How about that? The Hawks win the Stanley Cup! The Chicago Blackhawks have won the Stanley Cup!
That man in the middle, Alexander Robinson, with 92 yards rushing, has helped Iowa State to a 17-10 lead, and our Sprint epic play of the game. 63 yards, Joel.
63-yard touchdown, and he surprised both of us because we knew that Northern Illinois had some speedsters in the back end. I thought that a couple of them had the angle, especially Chris Smith, that cornerback from Northern Illinois, but Alexander Robinson turned on the jets, got into the end zone.
Let's see if they go back to him. He's held onto the football well. He was a huge reason Iowa State won that Insight Bowl last year. MVP of the bowl victory over Minnesota with 137 yards. They have a 3rd down. Will they keep it on the ground? Arnott looks over after he took a look at that defense. This is showing blitz. Arnott dumps it over the middle, incomplete. And then a flag goes down. It may be against the defense because they went right after Arnott.
Roughing the passer there. Boy, that's tough to swallow if you're Jerry Kill. Good defensive stand there on 3rd down. Northern Illinois going to try to get after the quarterback a little bit, and you just can't do that. I mean, he threw the football, and you know me, I'm a quarterback. I'm going to try to protect my own a little bit right there. I always loved when I saw that yellow on the field after I went down after a late hit.
So now it is 1st and goal near the 5-yard line. Right behind Arnott is Alexander Robinson. 2 receivers set to the right side. Fullback now goes in motion. They give it to Alexander. He's got a hole. He's got the touchdown. Great job of managing the clock.
What a drive by Iowa State. Lengthy, 10 plays, taking a lot of 3+ minutes off the clock. It started when it was, I think, 8:48, about 8:48 left on the clock. 3-minute and 43-minute drive late in the fourth quarter. Boy, that is just asserting your will over the other team. PAT up and good. Now it's a 2-possession game, 23-10, Iowa State.
Second touchdown for Alexander Robinson. Big hole by the big guys in the front line.
They were blitzing to the wide side of the field again, and anytime that you do that, you give up some numbers there on the backside, Steve. Iowa State does a terrific job picking up hats on hats. Alexander Robinson, terrific vision there, getting the ball into the end zone. He's improved every single year that he's been at Iowa State, all the way up to last year, second in the Big 12 with those 1,100+ yards. This guy's a sensational back. He's going to be a big reason. If they're successful, he'll be a big reason why they're successful this season. We're seeing that here tonight. I got to tell you, that's impressive. They know you're going to run it. You've got to drain the clock. You're only up by 1 touchdown. What do? You come out, you let that experienced offensive line and your senior running back take over the football game. And kudos to Austin Arnott for managing that game in that drive, taking what they give you, completing the pass. You don't run out of bounds. You don't throw an incomplete pass. You get yourself into the right play. That was an impressive drive right there. Most impressive drive of the game for Iowa State.
And the Cyclones trying to send that bad weather back, sending Northern Illinois back to DeKalb, as Robinson 3 yards shy of a 100-yard game. He has 97 yards rushing on 18 carries. He's had a heck of a night. 2 touchdowns, 1 of 63 and 1 of 5. We had a 10 to 15 mile-an-hour wind, and that came off the tee. But this will be a great year in the Big 12. I mean,
sure will.
Yeah, you lost quarterbacks like Sam Bradford and Colt McCoy and Todd Reesing and Zach Robinson. So many great running backs we talked about are coming back.
They're all back. And I think that we're going to see a little bit of a different brand of football here in the Big 12. Maybe what people are more accustomed to in the middle of the 90s.
They'll go to one knee, but our Big 12 notes, I mean, look at some of the young quarterbacks who are moving up. Yeah, Blaine Gabbert did a terrific job for Mizzou, but he's kind of the new era. And I think Landry Jones, with the weapons around him, wow.
Well, I think OU is going to make a run at a national title. I think that they're that good. DeMarco Murray is a Heisman type of player there in the backfield for OU. I like Garrett Gilbert at UT, what he did in the second half of that national championship game. And then here's my guy, the old guy, Brandon Whedon right there from Oklahoma State. Can't wait to get to Stillwater on Saturday.
You like those ex-baseball players.
He's the minor league baseball player. I got to tell you, that's good stuff. Robert Griffin and Gerard Johnson, those two guys could be the best players in this league. Robert Griffin's actually absolutely sensational, and Gerard Johnson could lead a very effective Texas A&M team. They're my sleeper team in the league. In fact, I got them right behind OU in the South Division. I know a lot of Longhorn fans aren't going to be that happy with me about that.
A lot of publications have picked up Gerard Johnson as player of the year in the conference.
I think he's a sensational player. Offensively, that team can score points with anybody if they learn how to play on the road, and especially play defense up front. If they learn how to win the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the football, they're going to win a lot of football games. I like what Mike Sherman has done down there in College Station.
Bob Stoops' offense, that offensive line, Ryan Broyles, DeMarcus Murray, Mark Murray, Landry Jones could have a huge year as well. It's tipped, intercepted by Jake Knott. What a game he's had in his first start. A forced fumble and his second interception.
And again, the low delivery. We talked about that. A tip up at the line of scrimmage. Was that Rumpelhalmer? I think it was Rumpelhalmer. Got his hand on that football. The Dutchman. They call him Dutch. He's from Holland. Gets his hand on the football. Again, Grady with the low delivery. A tipped football, and Jake Knott is the beneficiary of that. See how low that ball is? Rumpelhalmer didn't even have to stick his hand up in the air. Grady almost hits him with the ball next to his shoulder. You got to get your hand up as a quarterback and your elbow up. But Jake Knott, terrific anticipation. The tip drill. Jake Knott, second interception of the game.
Let's see if Robinson can get his first 100-yard game of the season. They're at the 13-yard line. Instead, it's Arnaud, and Arnaud pushes forward to near the 10, but they're inside of 5 minutes left in this game. Meantime, Jerry Kill's probably going to have to really take a look at his offense, because there were bright moments for Grady. DeMarcus Grady making the first start because he had 3 really good quarterbacks. Chandler Harnish, Jordan Lynch. Didn't tell anybody until the day who would be starting.
He didn't even tell his wife.
Yeah, we
met him last night at the hotel, and we met Coach and his wife there in the lobby, and we were talking about the game, and so we just asked her, well, who's he? He's got to have told you. Who's he starting? She looked at us and said, I don't know.
She said, our daughter asked me, hey, who's Dad starting at quarterback? Dad told me.
I have a suspicion that Jerry Kill would be a very good poker player.
Yeah.
Very tight to the vest.
You got that right. 4:13 remaining. Cyclones leading by 14, trying to go 1-0. And they needed this win, Joel. And I say that because they have one of the most difficult schedules in America. 8 opponents played in bowl games last year, and they have road games at Iowa, Kansas State, Oklahoma, and Texas.
Well,
oh man.
Just by winning percentage of your opponents from last season, it's the 3rd toughest schedule in America. LSU #1. This team has been through a lot. You got the Dan McCarney era a few years ago, ending in 2006. Then Gene Chizik comes in, has those 5 wins, and then out of nowhere, Paul Rhodes comes in and says, you know what? I'm an Iowa Cyclone. I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be your football coach. They bought in. They had a terrific year behind Alexander Robinson. And now they're looking to build on that. But, yes, that schedule is absolutely murderers row at Oklahoma, at Texas, Kansas, Nebraska. They've got at Iowa next week. That's tough to have. 4 teams on their schedule inside the top 10 in the country. When you're trying to build your program like Paul Rhodes is, that's a tough road to hoe right there. Here's what we see from the winning percentage. Minnesota and LSU up there with 636. Iowa State right behind them. This is a ball club that has their work cut out for them. I will tell you this. That guy standing there, Paul Rhodes, he's up to the task. And I love this guy as a football coach. I would love to play for this guy. He's that scintillating when he speaks. The hair on the back of your neck rises up. You just want to go run through a brick wall for him because you think he believes in you. Just talking to us, I was like, hey, I'll suit up for this guy.
Arnaud to the 5. Clock winds down inside of 3:20. And Rhodes, when we talked to him yesterday, we said, what do you think is your strength?
Yeah.
And he said, I try and recruit winners, and I have a great staff. So he was talking about the wonders of his offensive coordinator, Tom Herman, who came over from Rice, and Kenneth Pope, and Courtney Messingham, and Luke Wells.
And Wally Burnham.
Bill Deal.
The defensive coordinator. We've seen what he's done here thus far, holding the Huskies to 10 points. This is the defense that last year was 3rd in the country. Second, actually tied with Alabama, 2nd in the country in red zone defense. We've seen that tonight. How many times did Northern Illinois penetrate into Iowa State territory, get into the red zone, and guys like Jake Knott come up with a big play? And you know what he said? We asked him about that. He said, 1, we get lucky with turnovers, and 2, we emphasize it. And I can tell you this, Bill McCartney always tells me, Joel, you achieve what you emphasize. That's a great quote, and clearly Iowa State is achieving what they emphasize in the red zone.
You talked about sometimes you get lucky with turnovers. They did, and their huge win over Nebraska and Lincoln. First time they had beaten the Huskers since forever in Lincoln. It's time for our Polaris hardest working player, and that's got to be Jake Knott.
First career start, wreaking havoc in the backfield of Northern Illinois. Strips DeMarco Grady right there. Then a couple of interceptions off tip balls up front. Jake Knott knows for the football. This is a guy that they said to us on the conference call. They said, you know what, this guy's going to be a very good football player. We just don't know when the lights are going to come on. Well, I can tell you what, the lights came on tonight because he's been around the football all night.
Grant Mahoney trying to put the Cyclones up by 17 from 23 yards out. It is up. It is good. And Iowa State is indeed up 27-10 on the Northern Illinois Huskies. This Saturday, that young man will be sitting back in his easy chair and watching Big 12 football because we've got some
the film room.
Right. I'll bet you he's watching Illinois and Missouri and watching Blaine Gabbert, a really good quarterback, and Washington State and Oklahoma State. But Gabbert, I think he's going to be throwing more with that running back out.
Yeah, well, you know, and Blaine Gabbert last year had a little bit of an ankle injury. You can kind of see him hobbling in these highlights, and he was still very effective. Now, he lost a receiver in Denario Alexander, but I can tell you this right now, this guy, as far as a pro prospect, could be the best pro prospect in the Big 12, and that's including Gerard Johnson. Guy puts it on time, accurate, great delivery, gives his wide receivers a chance to make plays down the football field. He's going to be a big reason why Missouri is going to make a run at this North Division. A lot of people say Nebraska is the best team in this division, but I can tell you this right now. Paul Rhodes is going to battle you, and Missouri's going to battle you with Gary Pinkel. These two teams are better than people think.
And if that offensive line can open some holes, well, Kendall Lawrence, who likely will be the new running back, he was the 2008 high school All-American, who's a good back. Very good back. Here is Northern Illinois coming out to the 20-yard line.
A lot of times with Missouri, it's are they going to play defense? A lot of times, like they gave up too many points. That's just kind of the bottom line. I know it sounds simple, but that's kind of the deal with Missouri. Revisiting the keys to the game, we talk about keeping the ball rolling, the momentum from last year. They started off good. They battled some adversity in the third quarter, came out gangbusters in the fourth. Different Arnaud, he did a sensational job at quarterback. I know he did had the two INTs, but the bend don't break defense, that's perfect for Iowa State. That's the style of defense that they're going to play. They have given up some yards, but every time they were inside the 20, they bowed their neck and made something good happen.
And the edge of the game is brought to you by Principal Financial. Here's the sack, and coming up with the big play is Patrick Neal. This is his second year starting. They say he is an effort guy, not that big at 6 foot 235, but gets his first sack. Second down and a long way to go for Northern Illinois, nearing the 2-minute mark. Grady throws, and the catch was made by Willie Clark, but he was out of bounds.
Pass was intended for number 10.
DeMarcus Grady got the start over Chandler Harnish, who was the veteran. But they had a little bit of a durability problem with Harnish, who injured his knee and missed spring ball, did not need surgery, and was healthy coming into camp and had a fine camp. And once again, they was down to 3. Harnish, Grady, and the young man they really believe is the future of the program, a redshirt freshman out of Chicago, Jordan Lynch. Right now it's Grady. Incomplete. Intended for Martell Moore.
They had their chances, Northern Illinois, and as we revisit their keys to the game, Spann has got to be the man, and he was. I think that this guy inside the 5-yard line, if he would have gotten a couple of more carries, this could have been a different game. QB efficiency, I thought Grady played well at times. He needed to make a few better decisions, and he's got to work on that delivery and then bring the heat. They needed more tackles for loss. They needed to wreak more havoc in the backfield of Iowa State, because Iowa State kind of had their way with Northern Illinois up front. That offensive line for Iowa State really won that battle.
Fair catch at the 45-yard line for Northern Illinois. Their schedule in the future, they've got 2 Big Ten teams and 1 Big 12 team. 4 of their first 5 games are on the road, so a real difficult task for Northern Illinois. Their next game is against North Dakota at home, but then they go to Illinois and to Minnesota, who was a bowl team last year, losing to Iowa State.
Well, last year they got their first victory against a Big Ten opponent in 21 years when they beat Purdue. Now they're going to have a couple of chances at Illinois, at Minnesota. They're going to have a very good chance to win that Illinois game. They really will. This is a good football team. They had a chance to win this game. I know it's 27-10, and Austin Arnaud is going to be taking a knee here to close things out, but a couple of plays here and there, and that's what's great about college football. You think about inside the 5, and they don't score. They missed a chance late in the first half, Steve, after that interception from Arnaud. They had a chance to score a touchdown, weren't able to do that. Those are the things that you got to do in order to create victories for yourself. They weren't able to do that tonight, but they're still a very good football team and will make a lot of noise in the West Division of the MAC.
Austin Arnaud with 265 yards passing. That young man, Alexander Robinson, 3 yards shy of 100 yards. But with the 265 by Arnaud, he passes Todd Bandhauer and also Seneca Wallace for third place. He needed 215 to pass Seneca, and he zipped by him, so he's number 3 all time in Iowa State history. Counting it down here, 1 minute to go. The crowd beginning to file out. We were talking about how difficult Iowa State's schedule is. They are next at Iowa. They have plenty of time off because this is a Thursday game. So they have 9 days off before they have to play the Hawkeyes at Iowa City. Then they are at Kansas State on September 18th, and that will be tough against a really good running back, Daniel Thomas.
Daniel Thomas is very good. You think about what Bill Snyder was able to do last year with the Wildcats. That's going to be kind of a bloody your nose type of game. Northern Iowa after that. Texas Tech. That's a bowl team. Utah, that's a bowl team ranked in the top 20. They're beating Pittsburgh tonight. The last time we saw 17-7. Oklahoma at Texas. I tell you what, that is a tough road to hoe. But that man right there, Paul Rhodes, is up to the task. 27-10. It's going to be our final score here as the last few seconds tick off the clock. Impressive fourth quarter, Steve, from this ball club. Letting the offensive line get to work, letting Alexander Robinson and Austin Arnaud take control of the game with 8 minutes left. Paul Rhodes said, here's the keys to the car. Go win me this football game, up 17-10. And they did just that. A long drive, a 10-play drive. Very efficient football in the fourth quarter from the Cyclones.
Let's go to Jim Knox.
First one in the books, and you guys looked impressive. The offense was clicking with Austin and also Alexander Robinson. Take away a couple of turnovers, just about picture perfect.
Thrilled to death. That's a dang good football team that we just got a victory over to start this season. Kids have worked extremely hard to put themselves in this situation. First half, we went out and executed for the most part like we worked in training camp. Load a little bit, but then come back and finish strong.
Defense also did a nice job. Jake Knott, you talked to him yesterday. We were in your office, and he said he was nervous but ready to play. Looked like he was ready to play. 2 interceptions.
He was ready to play. That last one, he looked like he was shot out of a gun that he came and got. I'm glad he's on our football team.
What are you going to tell your team as you go in now?
We got a lot of work to do, but they're all right with that. They embrace that. They're a blue-collar team, and work is what we'll go do.
All right, you're going to enjoy this for a little bit, and then next week, the big game against Iowa.
Looking forward to it.
All right, appreciate it. Let's get Austin Arnaud in here. Austin, I tell you what, you worked hard during the offseason. It sure showed tonight. A couple interceptions, but after that, you were just about picture perfect.
Yeah, you know, I thought I threw the ball better, played well, except for those 2 bad throws. You know, I'm going to look at tape tomorrow, maybe have 5 or 6 MAs with 2 turnovers, and that's going to be, that's going to be rough to handle. But in the same sense, you know, we took care of business tonight, and you know, our skill positions, you know, tight end, receiver, they played well tonight, and they caught the ball great.
How are you a different quarterback this year?
Just poise, maturity. You know, I'm a different guy now. You know, with my second year, understanding the system, you know, it's like night and day for me. I really feel like I'm going to flourish here in a little bit when we get going.
The offense seems like it can be tough to stop when you guys are clicking with Alexander in the backfield and yourself. Do you like that look with Alexander and you, kind of like the 1-2 punch?
It's a great combo. You know, everyone in Cyclone Nation knows me and Alexander have been around for a long time. And, you know, this is our last go-around, 5th-year seniors. We're definitely excited. And that O-line, credit to them, they played a great job tonight, too. They did awesome.
Talk about the play today. It seemed like you made a lot of gain on the ground as well as through the air.
Yeah, we had a good night offensively, but, you know, turnovers killed us. We had 3 turnovers. And, you know, we were playing with fire there for a long time when it was 17-10. We needed to pick me up, and that touchdown really helped us.
Arguably the toughest college football schedule in the country you guys have next week. It does not get any easier. You get Iowa on the road.
Very excited about it. Very excited about it. Last year, going to play Iowa, going into Kinnick Stadium in a hostile environment, and we're so fired up to be there.
All right, awesome. Congratulations, the big night. Appreciate the time. Upstairs, back to you, Steve and Joel.
Thank you very much, Jim. And Austin Arnaud, there was a moment in the game where Northern Illinois was pushing. They had just scored to cut it to 17-10 at the commercial break. Joel, you said, I want to see how Arnaud manages the game the rest of the way. to refuse to let the Huskies back in.
Well, and he did an exceptional job of that. And really, I thought he played very efficient football all night long. You take away those 2 interceptions, and this kid did a heck of a job all night long. Good decision-making in the run game. Early in the game, you could tell Northern Illinois wanted to key on Alexander Robinson, allowing Austin Arnott some lanes to run and throw the football. Colin Franklin, you see him catching a pass here. He had a big night for Austin Arnott. I thought that this offense really found themselves, especially Austin Arnott, because you don't actually know as a quarterback how your football team is going to play until you come out and actually play. You see the stats here, final stats for Iowa State and Northern Illinois. A big one right there, time of possession late in the game is where they got that edge. 3rd down conversions, that's always going to kill you on offense. Northern Illinois only 3 of 13.
Very quickly, Arnott's 265. He's now 3rd passing in Cyclone history over Seneca Wallace.
That's pretty impressive. I can tell you that right now. I mean, there's some very good. Brett Meyer comes to mind when I'm thinking about Iowa State quarterbacks. Seneca Wallace comes to mind, and Austin Arnott is now in that territory. 2nd year in this offense. I think he can have a very big year.
Don't forget to join us this weekend for a college football Saturday doubleheader. First 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Great rivalry, Illinois and Mizzou. Then at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, Washington State and Oklahoma State. Check your local listings. Coming up next, most of you will see the Big 12 postgame show or final score. Now, this is Steve Physiok for Joe Klett and Jim Knox saying so long from Ames, Iowa. Iowa State beats Northern Illinois 27-10. Good night, everybody.
I go with the wicked one. He wants the lefty.
Comcast Sportsnet answers the call. Catch us on Sports Night and see us on Chicago.com. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Today, the Cubs meet the Mets at Clark and Edison. Tune in as the Northsiders hope to swipe a win from New York. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Chevy Cubs pregame live. Cubs, Mets, today at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Tonight at 10:30, don't miss High School Lights on Comcast Sportsnet. Every week, CSN combs Chicagoland for the hottest high school football highlights. Our team of reporters delivers exclusive tales from the gridiron.
This playoff run is quickly becoming a cherished experience.
And previews the season's biggest matchups. It's your guide to the high school gridiron. High School Lights, tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Dish Network claims to have the same TV as DirecTV for less. But did you know that their basic package includes 30 radio stations and dozens of TV channels you've probably never even heard of? So why does Dish Network call it America's Top 120 if you only get a few decent TV channels? With DirecTV's basic package, you get the highest rated channels with all your favorite shows. So don't be fooled by Dish Network. When you compare, DirecTV wins every time.
The brand that gets results with strong roots and strong stocks for performance you can take to the bin. Go with industry-leading DeKalb genetics and proven Genuity trait technology, letting you get more from every acre. Go all season strong. Go with DeKalb.
Tomorrow, Comcast Sportsnet is your college football kickoff headquarters. At 11:30, Illinois-Mizzou square off with bragging rights on the line. And at 6:30 on CSN+, Northwestern takes on Vanderbilt. It's a Big Ten doubleheader beginning tomorrow at 11:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
CSNChicago.com.
The best place for breaking news and behind-the-scenes access.
The most blogs and insiders. And everything outside the box score. CSNChicago.com. Your destination for everything White Sox.
And he make everybody around him better, too. That's no question.
Your internet home for all things Cubs.
Whatever I can do to help the team, and that's what I'm doing here. If they want me to play first base, I'll do it.
CSNChicago.com.
A fan's best friend online.
It's maximum fun for the minimum price. During the Great Escapes Labor Day clearance sale, we're selling off all summer inventory until everything is gone. Pools, patio sets, hot tubs, play sets, everything. All pool packages already discounted $500 to $1,000. Now double your discount with up to $1,200 in additional savings with free installation. And don't miss our lowest prices of the season on real wood play sets.
Escape your everyday. Shop the great escape.
A strained oblique in Seattle. A bone bruise in Baltimore. A tweaked elbow in Anaheim. These are not excuses. These are souvenirs. White Sox toughness. It's black and white.
Every night, the premier Chicago sports show with the best local coverage of your favorite Chicago sports teams is Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet. Watch as the largest sports staff in the city goes in-depth on everything that matters to the true Chicago sports fan. Breaking news, extended highlights, in-depth interviews, and exclusive access you won't find anywhere else. Sports Night, every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
So the Cubs get the sweep at Wrigley. Now they head out on their longest road trip of the season, and I'm doing the show.
Talk to anchors anytime via Twitter or blog. Catch us on Sports Night and CSNChicago.com. Comcast Sportsnet fans' best friend.
Check in on the Cubs' top prospects. That's next on Sports Night.
Hi, I'm JJ Putz. The most White Sox games are right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Manny and the White Sox prepare for his return to Fenway.
He did more good thing in Boston than he did bad thing.
But now Manny's the enemy, trying to keep the White Sox in the playoff hunt.
Throws to Olsen. Touchdown.
With roster spots up for grabs, veteran Todd Collins rocks Cleveland in the Bears' final preseason game. Plus, Marty Turco is ready to do just about anything for the Blackhawks.
Nice to put a little bit of a personal touch on it.
It's time to kick things off. Sports Rise starts right now.
This is Sports Rise from the Comcast Sportsnet studios in downtown Chicago.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Sports Rise. I'm Mark Shanowski. Another NFL preseason is in the books, finally. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction from Cleveland in just a bit. But first, the White Sox are gearing up in Boston for the start of a very important three-game series at Fenway Park. And you can bet all eyes will be on the guy wearing number 99 in the visiting gray uniforms. It will be very interesting to see what kind of reaction Manny Ramirez receives when he steps to the plate at Fenway Park. Manny was a member of the Red Sox World Championship teams in 04 and 07. He won postseason MVP honors in 04. But then he basically quit on his team during the 08 season, prompting the trade to the Dodgers. Sarah Kustok has more on Manny's return to Boston.
Manny Ramirez got a warm reception from the fans in Cleveland, the city where he made his major league debut. Things might be a little different this weekend in Boston, where Manny played for 8 years before being traded to the Dodgers in 2008.
It'll be interesting. Why not? You win 2 World Series there. You know what I mean? A lot of people, when you do something the fans don't like or the media don't like, or all of a sudden they forgot about all the good things you did. He did more good things in Boston than he did bad things. That team put Boston in the back in the map, and it's a baseball thing. Why, you know what I mean? His game was good. He don't care. He enjoyed that.
And there is no pressure for Ramirez to put up monster numbers for the Sox as they try to chase down the Twins. Ozzy's club is currently 5th in the majors in both batting average and homers.
With just some good offense, we can overcome this, I think. So, you know, let's not put too much pressure on Manny. He's been out for a while when he was with the Dodgers, so it's going to take some games probably to get back to feeling comfortable.
Well, we're going to try to keep the same momentum going to Boston. We're playing a really, really good team in Boston, so we really got to be be careful with those guys.
And the Sox are getting healthier. Second baseman Gordon Beckham should be back in the lineup after being hit on the hand by a pitch Monday, while reliever Matt Thornton is expected to be activated off the disabled list just in time for a series between two clubs currently outside of the playoff picture.
Two teams fighting for a playoff berth, fighting for their playoff lives. So it's going to be a great series, very competitive all the way, all 9 innings or however long it takes to play. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's in Boston, a great place to go play ball games at.
Sarah Kustok, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thank you, Sarah. The Red Sox closing out a series in Baltimore against the last-place Orioles. Top of the second, no score, when Adrian Beltre unloads his 25th homer of the season, 1-0 Boston. Later in the inning, it's now 3-0 Red Sox. Bases loaded. David Ortiz, Big Papi, the base hit to left, brings home 2 more. Red Sox go on to win 6-4. They are 6.5 games out of the American League wild card spot. Here's a look at the pitching matchups for this weekend series at Fenway Park between the White Sox and Red Sox. John Danks faces right-hander Clay Buchholz in Game 1. Then on Saturday night, Gavin Floyd takes on Red Sox veteran John Lackey. With Mark Burley going up against Boston ace Josh Beckett in the series finale Sunday afternoon. We will have the last 2 games of the series right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Now to the Bears, and given the state of their offensive line, the coaching staff was not about to take any chances by playing Jay Cutler in a meaningless exhibition at Cleveland. Cutler watched from the sidelines as Todd Collins and rookie Dan Lefevre ran the offense against the Browns. Let's check out the highlights from this one. Cutler was dressed, but just watching, he got to see 38-year-old Todd Collins in his first Bears action. After recovering a fumble on Cleveland's first snap, Collins on 3rd down looking over the middle for tight end Greg Olsen. Nice throw there, 15 yards for the score. Take another look. That was Collins' 3rd pass of the game, right on the money, 7-0 Bears. On the next Browns possession, with most of the Bears' defensive starters already out, Colt McCoy is sacked by Jerron Gilbert. Gilbert is fighting just to make the team. That forces a Cleveland punt. So on the next possession on 3rd and long, Collins hoping to call timeout, but Josh Beekman snaps it to him anyway. Browns would recover the fumble. It would lead to a touchdown that tied the game up at 7. To the Bears' 3rd series we go. Collins wants to throw the ball. Looking, finds Joaquin Iglesias, and he turns it into a big gainer. 39 yards into Browns territory. Iglesias also in a fight to make the team, but the Bears' drive would stall. Second quarter action now. Browns driving, and the Bears will get after Colt McCoy. Kevin Molass with the sack. Molass started in place of Hunter Hillenmeyer, who was supposed to start for Brian Urlacher. Browns eventually settled for a field goal and a 10-7 lead. Bears respond on the next drive. On 3rd and long, Collins to Rasheed Davis to the Browns' 28. Gain of 18. Davis looking like a good bet to be that 4th wide receiver. Game tied at 10 at the half. 3rd quarter, Dan Lefevre now leading the offense, and he looks and finds Davis once again for the big gain. 25 yards for Rasheed. He had 3 catches for 65 yards to lead the Bears in receiving. Neither team scored in quarter number 3. But in the 4th, the Browns would finally break the tie. With 2 seconds left on the clock, Phil Dawson from 36 yards out for the win, and he nails it. Browns beat the Bears 13-10. Lovie Smith and company have a lot of work to do after a winless preseason. Our Bears preseason coverage presented by Clear continues with a postgame report from Kip Lewis in Cleveland.
Got one more look at some of the younger players. Some good, some bad, but we at least got one more chance to see exactly what direction we need to go.
With Jay Cutler sitting out the final exhibition game, Todd Collins was given the start for the Bears after just a week and a half on the roster. The 38-year-old veteran quarterback proved he could still be a capable backup.
It was decent. We moved the ball a little bit. It wasn't perfect. I missed some things, but overall, with the short notice, I thought it was a decent outing.
The plan all along was to let him get quite a few reps, especially with our one line in there. So we're able to accomplish that.
Rookie quarterback Dan Lefevre also continued to get experience as he took the field with wideouts Rasheed Davis, Joaquin Iglesias, and Greg Matthews, all of whom were fighting to still be around next week.
I feel like a different person, especially from last year and going into this year. And I just try to go in there and make the plays that come to me, man. And I feel like I've been doing a good job of that.
It feels good to be able to be in an offense that gets you open
as opposed to you having to get open all the time. So I like that about this offense.
On defense, a couple of 2009 draft picks needed to shine. Third-round pick Jerron Gilbert appears to be on thin ice, as does former fourth-round pick Henry Melton.
I've been showing improvement from day one. Coming in, I was a lot more raw, and I picked up some things, especially at defensive end, and still learning. It's still a process, but I think I've gotten better.
He's been making the decision tougher all along. He's a great guy, works hard, he has talent, but there are a few guys on the defensive line that has talent.
Prior to the game, General Manager Jerry Angelo explained the decision not to play Jay Cutler in this final exhibition. He said since Todd Collins had only been on the roster for a short time, they wanted him to get some experience in this offense in game action in case anything should ever happen to Jay Cutler. Angelo also added that they do expect to keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster this season. With the Bears in Cleveland, Kip Lewis, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thank you, Kip. Here's a reminder, Comcast Sportsnet will bring you the very best Bears coverage all season long. After every game, switch over for Bears Postgame Live. Former Illinois standout and 2-time Super Bowl champ Howard Griffith joins the guys this season. Luke and Ellis and Dan Jiggetts return for Bears Recap Mondays at 4:30. They'll also team up for Bears Blitz on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 4:30, previewing the next week's opponent. And Lance Briggs joins Pat Boyle and Tom Thayer for Countdown to Kickoff Thursdays at 11 p.m. all season long right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Still to come, while Antti Niemi signs on to swim with the Sharks, the Blackhawks put new goalie Marty Turco to work. Find out what made Marty so nervous at the United Center. Tom Gorzelani got a big-time scare in Wednesday's game against the Pirates. We will update the injury to his pitching hand. The NIU Huskies are supposed to be a contender in the Mid-American Conference, but they did not look the part in the season opener at Iowa State. Meanwhile, Ohio State lives up to its preseason billing. Highlights from the opening night of college football coming up next.
Great teams become even better under pressure, and the weak teams fold.
If you're like most people, your life is a series of brushstrokes, large and small. Moments from the everyday to the extraordinary. As you move through your world, let Grange Insurance and an independent agent put the finishing touches on an insurance plan to meet your needs. Letting someone else handle your insurance while you stay in the moment. Well, that's a stroke of genius. A message from Grange and the thousands of independent agents who recommend Grange Insurance.
This season, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Mondays at 4:30 is United Bears Recap featuring Lovey's Presser from Hellas Hall. Wednesdays and Thursdays, Bears Blitz presented by Jimmy Johns looks at X's and O's as the Bears get set for Sunday. Thursday nights at 11, Countdown to Kickoff with Lance Briggs, and Tom Thayer provides a player's perspective. And after every game, U.S. Cellular Bears Postgame Live brings you 90 minutes of analysis, interviews, and coaches' remarks like nowhere else in Chicago. All season long, get your Bears fix with Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Get up, get moving.
Subway has breakfast.
And it's a slam dunk.
I like my breakfast sandwich with green peppers, onion, banana peppers, and mustard. I like eggs with Black Forest ham on wheat.
With everything.
I like a little kick. That's a good call.
I like mine with egg whites.
And?
A napkin.
Have you built your better breakfast? Now's the time. Try our better for you Western Egg White Muffin Melt or the delicious double bacon, egg, and cheese on toasty flatbread.
Subway, build your better breakfast.
It's the Sports Writers on TV.
Every week, Comcast Sportsnet will re-air a show that features pop-ups and fun facts about that era with Joust, Gleason, Bentley, and Tellender. Beginning September 10th at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back. Tom Gorzelani was lucky to be able to get his left hand up in time to keep Jose Tabata's line drive from hitting him squarely in the head during Wednesday's game at Wrigley Field. Unfortunately, Gorzelani pitches with that left hand, and further tests showed an incomplete hairline fracture under the nail of his little finger. Gorzelani will definitely miss his next turn in the rotation, but he could pitch again before the end of the season. The Cubs continue their homestand this weekend against the New York Mets. We've got the series opener for you here on Comcast Sportsnet starting at 12:30. Randy Wells faces knuckleballer R.A. Dickey, who's having the best season of his career. Taking a look at the other pitching matchups for the weekend. Cubs rookie Casey Coleman will go for his second big league victory on Saturday, while Carlos Zambrano takes the mound at Wrigley Field on Sunday. Big Z is 3-0 in 5 starts since returning to the rotation. Now to the start of the college football season and the game you watched Thursday here on Comcast Sportsnet. Northern Illinois taking on Iowa State. NIU, one of the preseason favorites to win the MAC West, but 4 of their first 5 games will be on the road. We pick it up with Iowa State leading 7-0 in the second quarter. On the first play of the drive, the Cyclones bust one. Alexander Robinson finding daylight, and he's gone. 63 yards for the touchdown. 14-0 Iowa State at the half. So the fourth quarter, Northern Illinois had cut the lead to 17-10, but then Robinson gets loose for his second touchdown of the game. Iowa State racks up 403 yards of total offense, and the Cyclones win the game 27-10. Now to Columbus, where the second-ranked Buckeyes were a huge favorite against visiting Marshall. Late first quarter, 14-7 Buckeyes. Heisman Trophy candidate Terrell Pryor drops back, finds Dane Sanzenbacher deep over the middle. That's a 65-yard touchdown, 21-7 Buckeyes. Late second quarter, same score, handoff to Brandon Sane. He finds a big hole for a 45-yard touchdown. Buckeyes up 21 after another long-distance score, and this ball game is pretty much over. They go on to win easily, 45-7. Minnesota also in action on opening night, facing Middle Tennessee State. Second quarter action. Blue Raiders trailing by a touchdown. Logan Kilgore finds Sancho McDonald, who makes a diving catch for a 22-yard score. We're all even at 14. Fourth quarter now, tied at 17. Dwayne Bennett fights his way to the 5-yard line for a gain of 12. He had 31 carries for 187 yards. That would lead to this 3 plays later. John Hosey pounds it in from 1 yard out. The Golden Gophers score with just over 3 minutes left, and they hang on to win 24-17. We hope you'll join us Saturday for a busy day of college football here on Comcast Sportsnet. It gets started at 11:30 a.m. Illinois facing Missouri in the annual bragging rights game in St. Louis. Then at 6:30, it's Northwestern at Vanderbilt. That game can be seen on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. After 9 years in Dallas, free agent goalie Marty Turco knew he would be on the move. He tells us about the winding road he took to become the Blackhawks' new #1 netminder.
No matter what has transpired up till now, who else we could have played for, this is where we wanted to be, and this is where we are, and there's nothing about stopping what we can do now.
What's your idea of financial security?
Financial security. Just protecting the roof over my head.
No matter where you're starting from, Country Financial can help you achieve it.
Retiring when I want to.
Your Country Financial representative can provide you with a tangible plan to protect what you have and plan for the future.
Some kind of safety net for my family.
At Country Financial, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
CSNChicago.com. The best place for breaking news and behind-the-scenes access.
The most blogs and insiders, and everything outside the box score.
CSNChicago.com. Your destination for everything White Sox.
He make everybody around him better, too. That's no question.
Your internet home for all things Cubs.
Whatever I can do to help the team, and that's what I'm doing here. If they want me to play first base, I'll do it.
CSNChicago.com.
A fan's best friend online.
An office manager in Cherville places 42 Sox tickets on 42 desks. 3 brothers from Orland Park are fighting over the Canerco jersey. And a woman in Evanston texts her husband, Sox tickets, exclamation point, exclamation point. The hardest part of baseball? Waiting for the game to start. White Sox baseball, it's black and white.
Get closer to the field on game day as Comcast Sportsnet, Menards, and the Cubs team up to select 6 lucky winners to be a Menards Wrigley Field groundskeeper for a day. Winner will enjoy the full game day experience of preparing the friendly confines and will help drag the infield during the 4th inning. Winner also receives 4 tickets to the game. a Menards groundskeeper uniform, and pregame photos on the field. To enter the Menards Wrigley Field Groundskeeper for a day, visit any Menards location and pick up an entry postcard.
The game of golf is full of treasures, memories, keepsakes. But it's more than that. It tests your will and captures the soul. Golf is the sport of a lifetime, played by people of all ages all over the world. Here at Golf Chicago, we have an appreciation of this terrific game with a special Windy City touch.
Don't miss Golf Chicago on Comcast Sportsnet. Check local listings.
As we told you Wednesday, Antti Niemi is joining one of the Blackhawks' top rivals in the Western Conference. The Stanley Cup winning goalie agreed to a one-year, $2 million contract with San Jose. And he told the local media there the games against the Blackhawks will be the highlight of his season. In case you didn't know, the Sharks' general manager is longtime Blackhawk star Doug Wilson, and he's glad to have Niemi on his side.
He made a hockey decision, and we take that as a great compliment that he wanted to come and be part of our hockey team. He knows our hockey team very well, and this is a guy that wants to win. And when we started this whole process, it was based on that. We might not have been able to offer him the most years and the most money, but it was the opportunity to be in that position, and he took it.
Niemi's replacement, veteran Marty Turco, took on a brand new challenge Thursday at the United Center. Marty got out the painting gear and helped paint the feathers on the team logo at center ice. Now, goalies pride themselves on having nerves of steel, but it's a little bit different with a paintbrush in your hand instead of a hockey stick and catching glove.
I was very nervous. You always assume that you got to be perfect, because when you see it, especially when we do on opening night, October 9th, it's going to look a little bit better than what I did. But it's about taking ownership and taking pride. And since being here, I can't believe how much I feel at home already and how well I've been treated by this organization. It is a big family, and we all know what this logo means to this city and to this organization. So it's nice to put a little bit of a personal touch on it.
Well, don't worry, Marty. Blackhawk fans aren't worried about your painting skills as long as you keep those enemy shots out of the net. Turco will not be able to wear the number 35 he's used for most of his career. That's been retired to honor the great Tony Esposito. But while Turco will play under his idol's banner at the UC, he told Chris Bowden he's more concerned about matching Antti Niemi's strong play from last season.
Been around long enough to know that what I can and what I can't control, and that has nothing changed what Antti Niemi did last year for the Chicago and how popular he should be. The guy won a Stanley Cup, something I've never done, something I need to work towards, and given the opportunity here with Chicago with a team who had won, made some changes, but still that opportunity is in front of us.
When did you start seriously thinking in your off season that this might be a possibility?
Every time you turn the highlights on, Chicago and Taves, Kane, and Sharp, and Host, those guys up front scoring goals. Yeah, we all know what the defense has. You got the Norris Trophy winner, and that kind of tandem. You see them thrive at the Canadian Olympics too. And these guys are the ones you want to play with. They're committed to winning. They're dynamite hockey players, and they seem like a tight band of brothers. And those are the situations you want to be part of. You want to help enhance. You don't just want to tag along. You want to be a part of it. No matter what has transpired up till now, who else we could have played for, this is where we wanted to be, and this is where we are, and there's nothing about stopping what we can do now.
No, you wore 35 in honor of Tony, and I see you have number 30 here. Did the thought cross your mind to approach Tony if you actually didn't, to see if he might mind it coming down from the rafters at all?
Of course, it just seemed like if there's ever an opportunity to have a sweater come down from the rafters, it would have been this one. It just seemed like a storybook one, but that number's up there for a reason. It's deserved to be up there, and it's been a great number for me, and it's just been a symbolic number for me, and it's all been due to him. Just like everything else, it is just a number, even though it's important. It's a part of my fabric now, is wearing it for 22 years of my life. It doesn't make me who I am today, and it's helped me along the way. It's going to have to change some autograph timings, but 30 will have to be it for Chicago.
We've gotten a look this week at the masks, the new mask this week. Tell Blackhawk fans what's going on with that. You got some scary gargoyle thing going on there?
Yeah, I've always had gargoyles my whole career. They, you know, symbolically are, you know, the gatekeeper and the net protector. And, you know, when we came up with the idea of Ray Bishop back in the day that was going to be my thing, I knew I'd keep it for the rest of my career. They sit on a brick wall, and to have the colors and the traditions and that logo of the Blackhawks on that mask, I mean, that's what truly ends up making it. The gargoyles are there, they're mine, they're who I am, and part of my career and artistic design, so to speak, but they are, it's more about having the Chicago emblems and all that, those fiery colors on there. I mean, they're the best in pro sports, there's no secret, so to wear them in Donald will be quite an honor.
All right, guys, thank you very much. And for more on Marty Turco and his gargoyles, just log on to our website, csnchicago.com. We've got all the latest news and special features on the Stanley Cup champs. We're coming right back to wrap things up after a final timeout.
Backstage or in front of the camera, this is my business. For Dr. Jeff, the back is his. I'm Lou Canellis here with Dr. Jeff of the Illinois Back Institute. And Doc, give me your backstory.
I have dedicated the last 20 years of my life solving my back problem. At the Illinois Back Institute, we solve back problems.
Sports injuries, work injuries, accidents. What's your backstory? For a free consultation, call 866-693-0955.
Dish Network claims they have the same TV as DirecTV. Come on, when it comes to sports, it's not even close. Regardless of what they tell you, Dish Network refuses to carry MLB Network, Yes Network, MLB Extra Innings, and that's just baseball. So don't be fooled by Dish. Hands down, DirecTV has the most sports programming and exclusive packages you just can't get on cable or Dish Network. When you compare, DirecTV wins every time.
If your business has you on the run, get a mailbox at the UPS store. We'll text or email you when you have a package to pick up, so you'll leave your competition in the dust.
See, we do a lot more than shipping.
Results with strong roots and strong stocks for performance you can take to the bin. Go with industry-leading DeKalb genetics and proven Genuity trait technology, letting you get more from every acre. Go all season strong. Go with DeKalb.
It has been an up and down season for the Chicago Fire. They'll try to improve their playoff chances by getting a victory Saturday afternoon against the LA Galaxy. Right now, the Fire is the definition of an average team. They've got 6 wins, 7 losses, and 6 ties in MLS play. They're hoping to get a hot streak started this weekend.
This game forward, every game is a must-win for us. We need points. We need that playoff mentality from here on out.
You know, the good thing about it is we're right there in the mix, and, you know, we're looking at it like, yeah, we can't squander many more points going forward, but, you know, we feel good about where we're at.
Play of the day brought to you by Lexus.
Back to Columbus, Ohio State looking to go up 17-0 on Marshall, but the long field goal try is blocked. The ball deflected right into the hands of Ahmed Shakur, and he is off to the races. 61 yards to pay dirt. Unfortunately for Marshall, that would be their only score of the game as the second-ranked Buckeyes roll. 45-7 was the final. That is going to do it from here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, we've got the series opener between the Cubs and Mets for you here on Comcast Sportsnet. Pre-game coverage begins at 12:30. And for Chicago sports news anytime, stay logged on to our website, csnchicago.com. We hope you have a great holiday weekend.
Hey,
Hey, Bears fans, it's football season. So head to Wrigleyville Sports for all your Chicago Bears gear now. Jerseys, sweatshirts, ladies, and kids stuff, too. Everything you need for the big game. Online orders ship for just $4.95. Orders over $100 ship free. Wrigleyville Sports is your headquarters for all Chicago team gear. Hurry to WrigleyvilleSports.com or our retail locations inside Macy's State Street and our newly expanded store across from Wrigley Field. Bear down.
Dreams shattered, love lost. A celebration with friends. If you drink and drive, not only can you lose your freedom, but you may be stealing someone else's future. The effects of drunk driving are devastating for everyone. Don't drink and drive.
Tonight at 10:30, don't miss High School Lights on Comcast Sportsnet. Every week, see us in Combe, Chicagoland for the hottest high school football highlights. Our team of reporters delivers exclusive tales from the gridiron.
This playoff run is quickly becoming a cherished experience.
And previews the season's biggest matchups. It's your guide to the high school gridiron. High School Lights, tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
This is the text from me that my sister was reading right before she flipped her car and was killed on impact.
MetroMix.com is your guide to the best of what to do and where to go. Search thousands of restaurants, bars, events, and more. Plan it, do it, review it. MetroMix.com.
He wants the lefty.
Comcast Sportsnet answers the call. Catch us on Sports Night and CSNChicago.com. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Hello, I'm Giovanni Soto, and you're watching Comcast Sportsnet.
Manny and the White Sox prepare for his return to Fenway.
He did more good things in Boston than he did bad things.
But now Manny's the enemy, trying to keep the White Sox in the playoff hunt.
Throws to Olsen. Touchdown.
With roster spots up for